everyone. Welcome back to the Film Buds podcast. This is episode number 11, and my name is Henry.
This is Braden.
I'm Chloe.
And today we're going to be talking about Wind River, and then we're going to be doing a retro review of the Coen Brothers' No Country for Old Men. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then we also have a little bit of news to talk about, a listener question, and yeah, so it's going to be super fun. How's everybody doing?
Little groggy. I blame the Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
I blame it because I ended up staying up late to catch No Country for Old Men. I was just gonna skip here and there and catch some scenes and try to remember the main parts because I've seen it obviously multiple times before.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, it's a spectacular film. I mean, it really is. And
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
You could hate it.
Oh my God. Lies. This is
Oh, good.
This is all diversion. But no, I mean it's so good. I ended up staying up late and I'm kind of dragging ass today. But
Cool.
Braden always has a new expression.
Yeah. And so, one thing I do want to mention is, so we're going to do the Steven Soderbergh show on Friday. Turns out Jacob is going to remain elusive again. I mean, I guess he was on one show, but couldn't make it. Yeah. He chickened out, obviously. But we're going to do that Friday, and so it's going to be available through thefilmbuds.bandcamp.com. And I'll post right when it's up, and so we'll keep you updated. But, yeah, well, how's anything else going on with y'all? Really? I got the Green Day concert this Friday. Got the day
I'm
off.
going too.
Are you really?
Yeah. For Catfish and the Bottlemen,
shit.
I hate Green
Are
Day.
you really going?
Yes, I like
Oh my
Catfish and the
God.
Bottlemen's like my favorite band.
Is Gemma going?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably.
That's cool.
He doesn't care about me at all.
I'll be there.
oh, are you going too? What are you doing again? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What?
Yep.
Braden, should I mention that just dumb fucking customer?
No, I don't. You know,
No.
I bitch and moan when it happens, but it's water under the
Did somebody
bridge.
hurt your feelings?
Yeah.
No.
Big time.
Oh, no.
My feelings.
His
Oh, your
feelings.
feelings? Okay.
No, I mean, not really, but
I'm so confused. Did this customer attend both
no.
establishments?
It was just on Friday or
Yeah.
Sunday, and it was brutal.
Dang it, now I
Brutal.
really want to know.
Oh yeah.
They, in short, they think a frappuccino can be hot. That's all I need to know.
Disgusting.
I know. So
I found it puzzling because
Yeah.
I mean we discussed this. A frappuccino, first of all, it's totally made up drink. There is no such.
and we don't have that at our place.
I
technically.
genuinely
Yeah.
thought you were gonna say something a little more severe than they thought.
No, but the
Frappuccino
lady
could be
was
hot.
brutal. Just an absolute
How old was she?
in her 60s.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah,
You guys should get a secret menu, like
I think we do technically.
Well, you should do like a true Italian menu.
yeah.
What would be the well?
Seriously, that would
They have
confuse the hell
Italian
out of.
soda.
They would have. You would have. Cappuccino and espresso, I think.
Oh yeah, I went to
That's
Italy. They'd never heard of mochas. I
No.
really did
Mochas,
bad things to myself.
lattes.
They were really nice to me though. This one man, he tried so hard to make me mocha. It was so sweet.
They don't
It was
make them.
gross, but it was really nice of him.
They don't do lattes. I lived in Williamsburg. I lived in parts of New York before they became hip.
Yeah.
Williamsburg for a very short period of time, and it was a very, very Italian neighborhood.
That's where my
and-
mom's from.
Williamsburg?
Really?
Really?
We're not Italian though, so
Oh.
no.
Well, you're missing
figure.
out.
Well, my grandfather lived in Italy my great grandfather lived in Italy for a really long time, and he was a money launderer for the mob.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. He was
Well, I
also
was
a
gonna-
painter, so.
You have
I was
a
gonna
rich
s-
history, family history.
That is interesting.
But that's the other side. That's not even her.
Oh, okay, good.
I mean, Williamsburg, you could tell that there was a certain presence there, which was actually kind of nice because the streets were clean and people were pleasant. It was very strange. But yeah, my dad, when I was moving into the apartment up there, my dad and I went to a little pizzeria. We were gonna get drinks, and we go in and we figured we're gonna play it cool and not do anything too frou-frou or anything like that. Caramel macchiato, mochaccino, you know.
Garbage.
So we just walked in and we said 2 lattes, and the woman behind the counter looked at us like we had sprouted arms from our foreheads. It was
Just like that.
the weirdest, because it was like an old school Italian pizzeria, and they had little cannoli, and they had all kinds of Italian baked goods.
Nice.
And real pizza, and so their coffee menu consisted of being their coffee menu consisted of, I think it was espressos and cappuccinos. I think that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't do, I mean, frappuccinos, all this crap that people get on like menus, you know.
Yeah.
Now. It's nice to have the variety, but
It's too much. Too much.
yeah, it's a little over like frappuccinos. I mean, first of all, it's a made up drink. Second of all, it's mostly like sugar.
Everything was a made-up
Yeah,
drink once.
technically.
Well, it's a. I guess if I want to be snooty, it's like a completely
Basic.
fabricated. It's not the
The
Italian.
expression is basic,
It's not
Basic.
the Italian menu.
right?
I don't know.
I thought it was gonna be
So-
way worse. I thought she like punched you or something.
Just
Emotionally
just
punched
about
you?
emotional punch. Big emotional.
Emotional sucker punch.
Well, I
Yeah.
couldn't even work this weekend because I'm disabled.
Oh, true.
So.
Yeah. You've watched the
IT grad, it's my
right?
favorite thing. I've
That's
had
the
that
best
so,
episode ever.
I've used that expression so many times of it because I have knee problems, so I always have my knee brace and stuff. Now the other one's messed up, so I'm not sure. But I've used I'm disabled so many
I'm
times,
disabled.
and nobody's seen it, but it's hilarious.
I've
It's the
seen it.
best episode
You've never
ever.
seen it? It's
No.
the best episode of
Oh, you've
television in
got to
history.
see it. It's
I've seen it.
brilliant.
That's the best show ever.
It is. It's quite funny.
That is all.
It's quite funny. And that episode in particular is hilarious.
I'm disabled. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, well, I'll check it out. I guess.
Yes, miss, may I help you?
Oh, sorry, my dog came in. I forgot to close the door. So you'll probably hear her. Oh, Benny, please, careful there. All right. Well, if there's not anything else, do y'all want to get to Wind River?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So we've got a clip. Let's take a listen.
Over here, see this one? See how the toes turned out? The front is much deeper than the back. That's just she's running. Come here, I'll show you. She ran until she dropped here. See the pool of blood where her face hit the snow. Now it gets 20 below here at night. So if you fill your lungs up with that cold air when you're running, you can freeze them up. Your lungs fill up with blood. You start coughing it up. So wherever she came from, she ran all the way here. Her lungs burst here. She curled up in that tree line and drowned her own blood.
Well, how far do you think someone could run barefoot out here?
Oh, I don't know. How do you gauge someone's will to live, especially in these conditions? But I knew that girl. She's a fighter. So no matter how far you think she ran, I can guarantee you she ran further.
Wind River is directed by Taylor Sheridan and also written by Taylor Sheridan and stars Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen, and John Bernthal. And the IMDb plot synopsis is an FBI agent teams with the town's veteran game tracker to investigate a murder that occurred on a Native American reservation. So, this thing has been getting a ton of buzz.
Has it?
Oh, yeah. It showed at Sundance. I missed it when I was there, but
Yeah, against the production company's wishes. Did you hear that?
No.
He like snuck it into Sundance, even though they were trying to make a deal with somebody
Oh,
else.
no.
And he got in trouble.
scandal.
I know. But he got like an 8-minute standing ovation or something.
Whew.
I know. Cray cray.
Yeah. Well, what did y'all think of Wind River?
I'll let Chloe go first on this one.
Yeah, let's let her go.
Everyone's scared of me. I'm not gonna yell at you if you're laughing more than me.
It's okay.
I thought the acting was great. That's about all I have. I appreciate how it addressed an actual issue in a respectful way while it's also still making a real movie.
I like that too.
Like as opposed to what happened to Monday, as you know.
Garbage.
Scoff, scoff. Mm-hmm. But this movie, real issues, addressed them properly, also was still a movie.
Right.
You know. But not.
Well, what were your issues with other parts of it? Why weren't they?
I thought it was directed like Twilight. Not just because it had a bunch of the same people, but it was.
Did?
Yeah. Basically, all the Native American people were the same.
Oh.
But anyway.
Well, that's one thing I was going to say is it's nice that Native American people are getting acting jobs, but it seems to be such a small pool of
Yeah.
them.
For who knows why. Well, yeah. But, no. I had a long discussion with my sister about, she saw it too, obviously, otherwise it'd be one-sided, but, about whether or not it was a very feminist movie.
I mean, there is rape in it. I mean, which
What
is
is
like,
that?
which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was a
You weren't expecting that?
no.
Really?
Well,
That's a boy thing to say.
I mean, it's a seemingly simple murder mystery, and then there's quite graphic sexual assaults, wouldn't you say? And then
Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting. It addressed important issues, which I respect. I'm not saying it wasn't. I think he tried. It was cute.
you tried, Taylor.
But, the woman in it was kind of an idiot. She did her best. Like, she's cool. I like her. But why couldn't she be good at anything? Like, it's true. Every time something bad was about to well, I guess that's a spoiler. I don't know. She
Yeah, well,
she was guided by. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
I mean,
Don't make
yeah.
me go first every time.
Oh, sorry. Well, Brady's wrong, Brady. And
I didn't know that was a trend. It's just a.
I go for. It's because I usually, if I really like something or dislike something, I interject. So maybe it's just my fault,
okay.
self-imposed. But 3 stars.
We're straight to the rating.
I thought Jeremy Renner. It was so beautiful. He did such a good job.
I loved him. I
Oh
thought he
my
was
god,
really,
Elizabeth
really
Olsen
good.
did a really good job too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he had a lot more to work with. I think probably. Like the acting was incredible. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
And he was so.
outstanding.
Oh.
Did you shed water?
Yeah, I
Hard?
did.
I could see you.
Yeah, I did. No, my sister got so mad at me. I couldn't help it. It was visceral. But every time something happened, I was like, oh. Like, I kept making a little noise like. And
Like,
then, yeah.
you know the story that the advice that Renner gives to
Yeah.
the father outside on the porch.
Yeah. Really? That didn't do it.
That
didn't
was
do it to me.
pretty gripping.
Yeah.
That was pretty gripping.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, that's the thing is I watched it and I was I wasn't sure what to make of Elizabeth Olsen's character and the whole thing.
You know? And like Henry was saying, well, before the
Because-
show started, Henry was saying it's a trend in his work. Like Emily
Yeah.
Blunt was like,
Well, yeah, and
So she's
Sicario.
fish out of water.
I mean, it's both characters in both films are very obviously competent. They're smart.
right. But
they're,
still somehow not good enough.
But
they're tough.
But they're thrown into a
But
situation.
they're thrown
that's-
into these situations
they know nothing about.
that they're obviously in over their head. And Sicario and Emily Blunt's in the American Southwest, which is a very inhospitable land. Which again, No Country for Old Men. We'll get to that. And then in Wind River, obviously it's set in Wyoming, and it's just mountains and
Brutal.
snow and predators, and it's just And so she has to fall back in Sicario. She sort of falls back on, I guess, Josh Brolin's character.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I mean, Josh Brolin
Benicio
is
del Toro's character, perhaps more. I don't know.
They're both they guide her through
Yeah.
that story
And
mostly.
in this one, Elizabeth Olsen's character falls back, obviously, on Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
So in a way, you could see it, I guess, as women rising to the challenge, but in another way, it's their women always sort of seem out of their depth and have to I don't know if it's necessarily white knighting.
Right.
In Sicario, definitely wasn't white knighting.
Yeah, I mean, well, I feel like
But-
in comparison to that, Emily Blunt's character is a little bit more strong
Yeah.
and adaptable.
Well,
than Elizabeth Olsen.
she's done wrong by both male characters in
Yeah.
Sicario. I mean, both of them have their own agendas and sort of use her in order to reach their agendas. Whereas this one, I think it is
more
in Wind
collaborative.
River. It is more, yeah. And Jeremy Renner and the whole white knighting, which I won't go into details, but it's pretty obvious towards the end there. So I mean, I'm of two minds about it. I
Me too.
appreciate that Elizabeth Olsen's character. She is strong. She is competent. She is tough. She takes a hit quite literally and is able to keep going.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she wouldn't have.
She does very little of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, exactly.
And Sheridan also, like, obviously cares about, like, the movie's about an important issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other
Everything,
thing is in the climactic scene, she's the one that
Here he goes.
I'm not no spoilers. So I'll just say she takes control of a situation. A lot of men,
Right.
a lot of testosterone, a lot of aggression, a lot of guns.
Right.
And she
Right.
takes charge of that.
And
But
how
then,
effective is she?
yeah, well, that's the problem is things go.
But again, that's
south
not a
anyways.
reflection on her. It's a reflection on the people around her. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
so-
really a toss-up. It's not offensive or anything. It's just like little
No.
details I thought could have been adjusted.
Yeah.
And you really think about it a little more, like why could, like you easily could have switched Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen's roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they could have played each other's roles.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of interesting and.
Well, the other thing that I was kind of wondering is why was Jeremy Renner's character? I mean, obviously, I'm glad Jeremy Renner had that role because he's an amazing actor.
He's so good.
He gets the Chloe
But-
Oscar.
The
He
Chloe
gets it.
Award
The
goes
Chloe
to-
Award
Yeah,
goes
well,
to Jeremy Renner for the next decade.
I still think he was robbed for Hurt Locker.
Oh, he's so good in her.
Oh,
Jeff-
he's good in everything. He's an amazing actor, but this was the best thing I've ever seen him in, which is a.
Yeah, I mean, well, a lot of the roles like in the Avengers and things, he's good.
He's good.
They're,
I mean, they're all
it's
good
roles
in
like
those
this that are
films.
like the.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's the
great
thing is
ones.
those are interesting or they're fun roles, but they're
Right.
not particularly deep roles.
Right.
And
Oh
then
gosh, he
seeing
was good. I was trying to think of somebody who could have done it as well as he could, and I really just couldn't because he has so many. Oh,
I mean,
he's
there
so
are other
good.
actors who would have been good in the role, but would they
Yeah.
have done
What he
No.
did.
what he did with that character?
I usually use like Jake Gyllenhaal meter. Like, could Jake Gyllenhaal have done this? Would have been
Yeah.
better or worse than this
Gyllenhaal,
person?
Jilly could
Nope.
have.
He wouldn't have had anything
No.
on Jeremy
No.
Renner though.
No,
In like
not
10
this.
years maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But
Jeremy Renner just has a certain depth
Yeah. I
Right.
mean,
that he's able to convey.
I feel like how he conveys grief
Yeah.
in this is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
I mean, he's got these remarkably soulful eyes. I mean, that's what it was
Yeah.
about it in Hurt Locker.
he got soulful eyes,
Soulful
buddy.
eyes.
He's-
No, but that's what it was in Hurt Locker. Is if you look at his expressions and you look at his
Right.
face, his eyes just always look as though there's something behind.
And
there's
it's like,
something
like
haunting him.
angry and kind of on
Right.
edge.
Yeah.
And that, yeah.
Jamie
I
Renner,
just-
18 stars.
I just remember him at the end of Hurt Locker when he's in the grocery store
Oh, that's amazing.
and just how
Pizza.
so totally out of place
Pizza.
he looked. Yeah, right.
Pizza.
He's just. I mean,
Best scene.
his character just looks so uncomfortable, and I mean, it's just grocery shopping,
And like even when he's with his child,
Right.
his newborn baby,
and
you
he
know,
just he doesn't know what to do with it. Give him a
Yeah.
bomb, and he's like la la la. Give him a kid, and he's like, what the hell?
Same.
yeah, you're right. But yeah,
And she was really good too, but her role was
Yeah.
not as
Well,
juicy.
Well, the other thing I was going to say is you could have flipped the gender on those two characters, but you could have also. Why not make the Jeremy Renner character just straight up Native American? Why does it have to
That's
be?
yeah, I
as
was
a
wondering
white
about
guy?
that too.
Right.
I was like, huh,
yeah.
it's true.
So
I mean,
if they made it Native American, obviously they'd just give it to Johnny Depp,
Get the Depster in there.
right?
Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing. No, but I mean, I don't know. Native
He was
American.
their first choice, Jeremy Renner.
I mean,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
good, and I'm glad he did it. But at the
Then they
same
had
time,
Chris Pine. I like him, but
Oh.
he couldn't have done it.
no. Chris Pine is good, but he's too
He's too
he's too
handsome.
jaunty, handsome guy.
He's too handsome.
Jeremy Renner, I don't know. There's just something a depth to him when in these.
I feel like I really do like Taylor Sheridan. I love Sicario. I really liked Hell or High Water. And then I did really like this. I haven't said what I thought of the movie, but I did really like it. And I do feel like his movies do come from a place of truth, and they feel very genuine in what they're trying to show, you know? Even if he stumbles
Yeah, no,
from...
I agree.
That's what I liked about it, and you mentioned this earlier, is it's great watching this film, and it sort of introduces you to this horrible situation, and you see what life is like on these Native American reservations, and the difficulties and all the poverty and so forth that these people have to live with on a daily basis. But the film doesn't sort of stray into documentary territory at any
Exactly.
point.
It does a really good job balancing.
Yeah.
Male guy.
Oh, he's
Male guy.
back.
Yeah. But I, like even scenes where he's teaching his son to ride the horse, like even just the dialogue and the blocking of how those scenes are shot, it feels very like he experienced those things personally, or knew someone that did.
Yeah.
You know, and so it always feels, and maybe not Sicario, obviously, because he probably wasn't an FBI agent.
No.
You know, in
You never
the
know.
drug war, but
Yeah.
everything he does for the most part feels very truthful, and I like that a lot. But yeah, I mean, I'll agree that Elizabeth Olsen could have been spruced up a little bit. You know, it's
Well, I
And
think
she was really there to serve, like, as far as the story, to serve a purpose for Jeremy Renner's development.
yeah,
Just frankly.
yeah, she was sort of in a way a surrogate daughter, I guess you could say. But I mean, it's
That's what I was thinking.
complicated.
That is the case.
It's
What do you
complicated.
think
No,
I
I
guess?
know.
His female characters are complicated because you can't really say, oh, it's like a chick and she doesn't know. I mean, because they are smart, they are tough, but they're thrown into situations that are sort of above their.
Yeah.
I also didn't, or I also liked that they didn't force a romance between them, because
Yeah.
they easily could have done that.
I know. I said that was like the first thing I said. I was like, thank God.
Kind of like
Yeah.
Fury
Like,
Road.
this would have been
Yeah.
terrible.
I like
they
when
done that.
they don't do that.
Like,
it's much preferable.
You would think going into something like Fury Road that Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy would, do it, and then
Make the
but
beast with two backs.
yeah, and then it's the same thing in this. It's maybe there's something there. Maybe they hint at that, but
They don't.
maybe they hint at that,
They
but
don't.
it's not there, and that's really refreshing. So it's a simple movie, and that's another
Yeah.
nice thing about it. So
Yeah.
Pure.
Well,
It's not really upsetting.
it's able to convey complexity of human emotion without turning it into some sort of
Exactly.
romantic love. Oh, love is such a complicated emotion. You know. Yeah.
bullshit.
Raspberries. But it doesn't I don't know, if it threw love in, I think it would detract from what it was
so
trying
much.
Oh yeah, totally.
to really do, which is
Yeah.
anguish and distress and trying to cope with all the difficulties, particularly again because of its portrayal of life on reservations and how hard scrabble that existence is. And then you throw in this romance and all of a sudden it's like love budding among the that would just seem so cheap.
Yeah. And they're like 20 years apart, so
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, but the
Come on, High Noon. Totally bought it in High Noon.
Oh, true.
I did not.
I
said,
didn't either.
why the F
It
is
still
she
gave me
marrying her
hope.
grandpa?
It still gave me hope, but I went, no,
I can see you. No, no, Grace Kelly, no.
no.
But I really enjoyed there's a shootout. I won't say when, but there's a big shootout. You know what I'm talking about? The big one.
Yes.
It's amazing. Like how it
Wait,
plays
which
out.
one?
The-
Oh, the big one.
The
Okay.
one-
The big one.
the big one,
Okay.
yeah. And that one is amazing. It's like brutal.
Yeah.
And then how it ends is great.
Well, what got me about it is how quick it is.
Yeah.
It just boop, 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 done. Right. because that's not the. I mean, action isn't the focal point of the picture. And I like the fact that it was edited in such a way and choreographed in such a way that it's there, it's done, and then it gets back to the human
Yeah,
element, the
yeah.
human interaction, rather than like gunfighting at the OK Corral type.
Yeah.
So, just the pace of the whole thing, I thought was
Paced quite well. Yeah.
taut. It was taut. The editing was, I thought, very, very good. The only thing that really threw me off in terms of the technicality of the picture was all that shaky cam shit
Oh my
at the
god.
beginning.
There's some handheld work that
Yeah, I
could have been.
Unnecessary.
Let's go back to
Terrible.
steady cams. I mean, shaky cam stuff and sometimes sort of okay, but I'm not. It's such a sort of an overused.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap. It's cheap. Let's use a steady cam. You know, why does stuff have to be shaky cam? I mean,
Don't try to force emotions onto the viewer.
Yeah.
Get your act together, people.
Yeah, come on, Taylor.
I mean, it's trying to do this whole, what is it, docudrama
Ay.
reality show. I don't know, cinema verite. I don't know what you would call it.
Bigelow
but it's-
loves it.
Yeah, well, I think for the Hurt Locker that it works,
Yeah.
and then for
Hunger Games. I'm really going back into all the young adult movies
the
now.
Hunger Games. Oh, just that director.
That was the first time I'd seen some shaky cam.
Oh, really?
I think. I took,
You know, I haven't even seen any Hunger Games.
This
That's aight.
the second one is pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
no, they all suck.
All right.
Don't buy
I mean, I
it.
like the cast: Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, J Law, obviously, but
I mean, I like the second one, but the first one is not good.
I didn't see the last one. Or
Not bad.
two. The last two.
Not bad.
it's actually a point of pride for me that I haven't seen.
Yeah,
the
it's.
Hunger
I mean, I wouldn't rush out to see
No.
them. So
I haven't seen any of Twilight either.
I've seen the first one.
My best friend Mary, her family always held Harry Potter and Twilight release parties. So that's how I saw them.
Ah.
The parties were dope though, so worth it. But, you know.
Are you Edward or Jacob? Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Harry.
I'm Team Harry. So that's Jacob, right? Because he's the werewolf.
What?
Harry to play. No.
Oh, that's funny. Sorry, took me a minute. Get it?
But
Well, one thing I do want to mention is the score. Love the score. It's by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis, who did the assassination.
Love Nick Cave.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say Nick Cave. That's the Nick Cave, right?
Yeah. Who did the
Assassination of
Jesse James.
James
He
by
did,
the coward. Blah blah. blah,
Robert
blah, blah.
Ford.
yeah.
Robert Ford.
He did the Proposition, Lawless, and I think maybe one or two other. Oh, and Hell or High Water as well. And so like they should just do every Western, and they pretty much are. But love the score, so really kind of eerie and.
Well, I was gonna say, have you seen the first season of True Detective?
Oh, yeah.
Well, also the second season,
But,
but the
Many times.
Of course.
the soundtrack or the theme song for the first season, which is remarkable. It's T-Bone Burnett.
Yeah.
and he's done a lot of.
And the second one too, right?
He did the second season as well, and the opening song for the second season is good, but it doesn't have quite that sort of
But the score
hard
for
pan out west, scorched earth,
Yeah.
desert kind of.
yeah, but
feel
the
that-
score for the first season is
remarkable.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Carrie. Gets it every time.
But I was just gonna say, T-Bone Burnett, I think, could give Nick Cave and this
Yeah.
fellow a run for their money.
Yeah.
But anywho, no, the score is good.
Mm.
That aside,
It was
I-
weird. I just feel like he should have gotten somebody else to direct it. To be honest.
Really?
But the writing was really good. He should
I-
be there. He should talk to the actors. You know, all that stuff. But
I mean,
I thought it was good.
I like the direction. I kind of to make a final decision. I need to see him do one more.
yeah.
Then, if was it just good luck? Is this guy just full of himself and he just had it? Came off of watching Denis Villeneuve direct Sicario and was like, I can do this.
yeah,
And so need to see one more.
right.
So
Yeah. I mean, I thought he did a very good job, though. I mean, overall,
yeah,
again,
I thought for the most part he did. Yeah.
it moved at a good pace. It didn't get dragged down with any extraneous bullshit.
I got bored sometimes.
Did you?
I
I
think
did.
I think for me, it takes a little while to get going because it starts
yeah.
out relatively ordinary in terms of story and character.
It's also like it reminded me of like Brokeback Mountain. Like there's just too much. There's all this snow. I know what snow looks like. Keep it moving, please.
I like it. I think I think it adds to the film because again, it's trying to convey sort of the difficult.
I like the snowmobile.
You would.
Stuff. I
Oh
love
my
that
god.
shit.
There's sleds. There's
Yeah.
sleds.
Or
Not
is
snowmobiles.
that-
Sleds.
Noise too much.
What do you call them? Snow.
Sleds.
They weren't. Oh, he did call it a sled. He
They
said
call
your
them
sled
sleds.
got
Well, that's
gas.
Different. They have different nomenclature in different parts of it. In Alaska, they're actually called snow machines. Seriously.
Okay,
they're
the
called
snow machines.
sleds. Sled in Wyoming. It's a
The
sled.
sleds were great.
Ay, ay, ay. No, thank you.
But in terms of the
That's what I mean. Too much of that crap. But anyway.
Interesting. But in terms of it starting out slow, I think there was a point, and my manager, who saw it before I did, told me this, is like there's a point where something big happens, with the
Yeah.
And that point I was in, right when that little
Which
action,
point
There
is
was
the
a
action
violent act.
where they go to
Oh,
that
yeah,
house
yeah.
with
I know
the,
what you're talking about now. Yeah.
the guys are high and it's yeah.
Anyway.
After that point I was in for
Yeah, me too.
so.
Well, I thought up to that point, it didn't. None of the film really dragged for me.
Yeah,
I
it
thought,
didn't drag. I was just like, I wasn't like kind of fully.
I wasn't feeling it for the
invested,
first
yeah.
like half hour, yeah.
Well, well, again, I mean, until there's actually like sort of compelling action going on, films really don't pull you in, which is why a lot of films like to start off
Jump
with a
in,
big,
right?
boom gunfight. So, what I liked about this film is it takes its time really sort of pulling you in, but it doesn't waste that time with just boring exposition shit.
Right.
And rather than starting off with a flashback, here's the flashback. I
Right.
think it actually,
Right.
it was sort of jarring how they
Oh, I
put
like-
the
I-
flashback.
Oh my god.
I liked.
My
Yeah.
tummy hurt. I was gasping by accident. Oh, it was awful. Oh, so good.
I really liked there's how they incorporate the flashback
Yeah.
is very clever.
Rather than saying,
shocking.
3 weeks
So
earlier, and
So good.
yeah, or putting it at the beginning of the film and then saying, here's the fallout. No,
Yeah.
it starts off introducing the characters and showing you what the dynamic between these characters
Dear
is.
heavens.
And that whole scene is brutal.
Brutal
was-
is
yeah.
an understatement. Oh my gosh.
I need to stop
And
watching all these disgusting movies.
And I didn't know John Bernthal was in this.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It's not really advertised.
Well,
so
that's the thing.
it was
Is
a nice addition.
It's a relatively short role, but I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the redeeming things about season 2 of Daredevil as the Punisher. I liked him a lot. What was it? He was just Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, which again, unfortunately, his role there was kind of small, but hopefully he'll pop up more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I thought he was good in this.
I just really
That
like the
whole
way
scene was.
it looked at people. Like, some people are good people.
Yeah.
Like, that's nice that they actually displayed that for once. Like, it was,
Yeah.
and that's what made it all the more heartbreaking, but it was believable too.
Yeah.
It almost was really, really, really good to me. There were just some things I just couldn't, like, yeah.
Wasn't working.
Just some of the characters, especially. Like the mom or his ex-wife.
Yeah.
What the heck was... No.
Well, there's so little of that. I wasn't crazy about her, but
Well, I think it sets up some of the backstory that helps explain Jeremy Renner's relationship with Elizabeth Olsen, the relationship between
Right.
their two characters.
No, I get... But...
And it shows how, I mean, this guy is tough as nails.
Yeah, but he's also super nice, and she's kind of mean to him, and he's like, whatever you need is fine. But, like, why is he the... Like, I like that good people exist, but why is she not... Like, she's kind of mean to him.
well, maybe they had a bad history.
Well, we know their history. I get it. But still.
Oh, there's one thing. With the kid. So there's a point where the Renner goes off with his child, and then there's this like, oh no, this is our day to hang out. But then there's nothing
Yeah, kid
at all
disappears.
after that. You never see the payoff for that. Like, oh, sorry, I've been catching a rapist. You know, and it's like there's no him going back, oh, I'm sorry I've had to do all this work and I've missed it. It's just kind of
Well, I mean,
forgotten.
the kid is important, but he's there more as a plot device
yeah,
and not
yeah.
as
Which
a.
I don't respect. He should have been in a little more.
I don't know.
Had some more meaning, something. Well, the whole. I don't want to
Well,
give anything away, but like he should be caring about his. I mean, who shouldn't be? But you know what I mean. His child should be very important to him,
Yeah.
well, it is.
and showing that he's paying attention to his child should be very important to him. So that was weird. My sister said that too. He was there, and then he was gone. And she said, "I get why he was gone because he just didn't matter to the story anymore." But like, those aren't real characters. Those aren't real people. Then,
Right.
If
Well, I
your
mean-
kid just vanishes.
Well, he only had the one weekend with him because of the shared custody. So he
They
only
could
had the
have
one
shown him
weekend.
going back.
Yeah, it's.
Something.
I was expecting a scene where it's like he has to go back and his kid is,
Yeah.
which could technically kind of bloat the plot or the story a little bit, but it could have also been kind of
Well, I mean,
effective.
the other question is how much of showing him with the child, because he obviously loved the child, how much of showing them with the child would have sort of taken away from the sort of emotional
Yeah.
context of the film, which is, you know, again, this difficult existence.
Well,
and
that's
the
real life,
anguish
though.
and loss and.
You have to balance. That's how it works.
Yeah, this is true. But if you're trying to convey overwhelmingly this sense of, you know,
I did, playing off of that, I did really like the performance of the Native American father.
yeah, I was
He
just
was really good.
looking at him. He's been in a lot of stuff. He plays the.
Literally in everything.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
been in
I know.
Parks and
He's-
Recreation. He was.
Oh, right.
Jacob's
He was in
dad.
Twilight, wasn't he?
Yes, he was the chief.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and he's in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
He's just
Gil.
Yeah.
I was just looking at his name.
He's got a little monopoly going.
Yeah, but he's great, and then how he conveys grief.
I
and-
wasn't crazy about him.
Really. Huh? Why's that? Just
That's another thing. I get it that maybe it's supposed to be realistic, but those two parents' reactions to or dealing with grief, maybe it does. Maybe that is. I don't know.
Gil Birmingham.
Wasn't into either one.
huh? I liked the fathers. I was a little taken aback by the mothers, and you don't really get a.
You get no. That's what I'm saying. Why does the dad get so much time, and the mom gets none? The mom's just a crazy lady. Wonderful.
It's almost. Have you seen Prisoners?
Yeah.
It's almost like that, you know, where the wife, there's so little of the wife, and she's just like this broken mess, and she just sleeps like all the time because
Yeah.
she's so. Which I'm not saying is unrealistic
Yeah.
for someone in that position, but
Right.
again, it's like you get all the dealing with Hugh Jackman and not her.
Yeah.
And then same for this. It's like the wife is in 2 scenes.
Why
and-
couldn't Jeremy Renner have talked to? I mean, come on.
No.
That is all.
Yeah, I mean there are a few small.
The
you know,
moms fall flat, and that's just not fair.
yeah. Give moms their time.
Give moms
Taylor.
their time, exactly. And I get maybe it's hard for him because he's, obviously, I doubt he's ever been a mom.
Yeah, well, that's.
But still,
Maybe.
get some advice.
Yeah, that is a good question as to what extent, you know, if you're a male writing and directing a film, and how do you address these roles?
Yeah.
And generally, I it's a little weird, but I think he's generally done pretty well with his female leads in these films. But yeah, I guess I mean it doesn't even cross my mind because it seems like such a small component to the films. But you're right, the portrayal
Which
of
is-
the mothers
yeah.
is
Correct.
and not just in because there wasn't an issue with mothers in Sicario,
Right.
but in this one, and I think in a lot of other films, the portrayal of mothers. But then again, I mean, there are any number of films out there with stronger portrayals of mothers. I'll have to think about that because none are coming to mind at the moment. But I know there are a lot of pictures out there with.
Toy Story. great mother depiction.
Mothers sort of overcoming adversity.
Yeah.
The changeling.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one. We
no.
were talking about that. Yeah.
She goes in.
Yeah.
Movie was scary.
That's an intense movie.
yeah, I know.
Is it?
Yeah, and
I haven't actually
it's-
seen that.
Oh
I think-
God, I watched it. I used to be obsessed with Angelina Jolie, so I watched it like right when it came out, and I just like stood like 2 inches away from my TV, just watching it with my mouth open.
she's.
Really?
I think it's her
and
best
like
performance.
I was in like 6th grade, and I was just like, oh my God.
She's
Yeah.
really good.
I think I scared my mom. Yeah, which is fair. But anyway, it almost did it for me. It just had so many little missing bits.
Yeah.
But Jeremy Renner kind of saved the day. It had a lot of good parts too, though. That's why I
Yeah.
don't know.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye. Aye, aye. And the other thing that bothered me is particularly towards the beginning, I think as it went on, there seemed to be sort of less dialogue. It was more dynamics of interactions between people. But there were a few bits of dialogue earlier in the film that I thought were a little. I hate using the word clunky. Everybody says clunky. Cliched.
I would agree.
Yeah. Towards the beginning of the film, and that sort of took me out of it. But as the film went on, I think it got better.
It definitely got. There's a movie where it definitely got better as it went on. For better or worse. Usually movies are really, really good to the last 20 minutes, and they start
And then they fall
falling
apart.
over
Yeah.
into an abyss. But this one did not do that, so that was good.
Well, that's what I liked is that the climactic bit wasn't the climactic, but the climactic bit was
Right.
bam, you have this big
Bang.
action thing, and then it's done, and you get to see the denouement, and that's what really compelled me, particularly the last bit. I don't take cues well.
Sorry, we had a little audio technical issue. We're good though. All good.
But no, I was just I think the last bit, which is the actual last bit, the ultimate bit, I think it's really beautiful. The bit Jeremy Renner and Gil Birmingham out at the swing set.
Oh yeah.
And again, it you see his human condition, you see the difficulty for him as a Native American trying to process his grief because of, I mean, he sort of mentions sort of the loss of their traditions and that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And so it's really a remarkable scene. I mean, it's really
And
beautiful.
I love the climax on the mountain.
Yeah,
Good,
that was spectacular as well.
satisfying, and yeah.
So I think
I didn't feel satisfied. I think I'm
Really?
just a messed up person. I know it was really good. I just didn't feel it. I was just.
really,
I think
thought
I was
that
just a
pretty
little. I was
gripping.
too salty.
Too salty.
It didn't do it for me. I was like, we could make this worse.
I did like the performance of during that scene, the other guy,
The
with Jeremy
really
Renner,
southern guy?
where he was just like,
Scumbag.
yeah, he was just like, no fun. You got nothing going on. Got all the snow. It's amazing. I mean, you have no sympathy for him, obviously,
just
but
awful.
the performances at that point in time is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think that's what the whole point is. This guy is just the absolute worst, and he comes up with the lamest excuses to
Oh,
do
it's
the
just
kind of reprehensible things he
gross,
does.
yeah.
And so it's just he's a horrible person, and he's looking for excuses. It's not. It's so the causality is the other way around. He was
Right.
just looking for you. You could have put this character into any situation. He would have found some reason
Right.
to do these
Right.
kinds of things.
yeah,
And so it's you know he blames the snow, he blames the isolation, he blames
No
the
fun.
silence. No fun. But that's not what it is. He's just a bad person.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
So
It was a really good movie. It
Yeah.
was. It was upsetting in
Yeah.
a good way. That's the best part of it. Was how
Yeah.
upsetting it was. And Jeremy Renner. Good job, Jeremy Renner.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner, bravo.
All right. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, but I can't remember now. So
We'll think
skip
on it.
over me while you can.
We'll come back to it.
We're
We'll
known
come
for
back to it.
bringing up random things at random times, so
digression.
yeah. Brayden, what about you?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a really strong directorial debut from Taylor Sheridan. Again, you know, so many directors, their first films, the editing is bad, the dialogue is bad. They don't get really excellent performances from their cast, and a lot of times I think they sort of choose, you know, low hanging fruit. They want the soft
Right.
the soft pitch, right? And so they choose easy films, and this was not an easy film to try to do as an inaugural sort of attempt at directing. And I mean, all around, I thought spectacular. Is it the best film ever? No. And as I said, there are a few things that take me out of it. The shaky cam, some of the bad dialogue, and in a very, very few places. I mean, most of the dialogue is very taut and moves fairly well, but there are a few places that they say something, you kind of go, oh, the bad dialogue. But no, I thought it was. I mean, I just give it a solid 4 out of 5.
4.5 for me.
Yeah.
Chloe?
I'll bump it to 3.5.
3.5. All right.
But the half is just Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll take it.
Well, I gave
Well, she
Patrick
was really
Swayze's
good.
hair a
And-
star.
And yeah, and Elizabeth Olsen. They were both really good.
Anything goes.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that done, let's move on to our retro review of No Country for Old Men.
My favorite movie of all time.
And spoiler. Let's take a listen to a clip.
How much?
69 cents.
And the gas?
Y'all getting any rain up your way?
What way would that be?
I seen you was from Dallas.
What business is it of yours? Where I'm from? Friendo?
I didn't mean nothing by it.
Didn't mean nothing.
Just passing the time. If you don't want to accept that, I don't know what else I can do for you. Will there be something else?
I don't know. Will there?
Is something wrong
With what?
with anything?
Is that what you're asking me? Is there something wrong with anything?
Will there be anything else?
You already asked me that.
Well, I need to see about closing now.
See about closing.
Yes, sir.
What time do you close?
Now, we close now.
Now is not a time. What time do you close?
Generally around dark, at dark.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
No Country for Old Men was released in 2007 and is directed by Joel and Ethan Coen, stars Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, Kelly MacDonald, Tommy Lee Jones, and Woody Harrelson. And the plot synopsis is violence and mayhem ensue after a hunter stumbles upon a drug deal gone wrong and more than $2 million in cash near the Rio Grande.
That's such a misleading. I hate that synopsis.
Yeah,
That synopsis is garbage.
Yeah.
Starting it with violence and mayhem. Violence and mayhem is such a minor part of the film. It's the long silences. And
There's a lot of violence.
I mean, there is violence, but it's not like okay.
It's disgusting.
Let's look at something like
It's like the opening bit is
Like-
so gross.
Yeah, like
well,
the strangulation.
Ugh.
Like let's compare like say a John Wick or an Atomic Blonde, which I haven't seen him, but it's
So good.
it's just
That's good violence.
shitloads of yeah. Well, that's the point.
That's
Is
like
it's just
dancing.
shitloads of choreographed action sequences that are long, and those are the main points of it. Whereas No Country for Old Men, it's these very brief, snap, flash in the pan, brutal
I would
scenes of
say-
violence. But it's the long silences in between that I think really make the film.
You know who I bet loves this movie? The guy who did Ghost Story.
I bet he does.
Bet he loves it.
The goofball.
Like,
Why?
because we're both so like pseudo-intellectual. Like, I'm gonna tell you how the world actually works, and everything's awful, and blah blah blah.
Everybody's got green hair. And, but, you know, there's that scene where Tommy Lee Jones is talking to the
Oh,
sheriff.
Yeah.
he's talking about all the punks and,
Bones
yeah.
through their noses.
Bones through their nose.
That's just like the guy in a Ghost Story.
Is it? Which guy?
You know the guy you hate.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude. That hipster douche nozzle.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. This is a modern classic for me. I
It
love
is. It is absolutely 100% a modern classic.
Chloe, really? You don't like this movie?
Freaking hate it.
Oh my god! Why?
I wish they could. It's like Wes Anderson. I think their aesthetic is beautiful. They're great directors. I think their choice, what they actually make though, the writing is just no.
Really?
No.
I think the
gracias.
writing is one of my favorite parts of their
Yeah,
movies.
I mean, the writing is
Particularly the
genius.
comedy.
Well, maybe I'm not smart enough.
I think No Country for Old Men is great, but for my money, my favorite film of theirs is still Barton Fink. And what makes that so good is the writing. Because it's so John Turturro and watching him and John Goodman.
Oh Brother World, though, for me is one of my favorites.
That's really good.
Chloe is hating herself, and she just hit her head.
I just hit my head on my crutches. How sad is that?
Yeah. But yeah,
Not a big Coen Brothers fan, are you?
No. No, and I hate this movie. I like their direction. I think it's really well shot. I think it's beautiful, everything, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
But that loses its importance when the subject matter is so inane. Inane.
Inane!
Chloe's battle cry. It is.
Just, no, thank you. What is the point of putting this out in the world? Tell me the point of this
It's
movie.
it's a thrilling
right
cat
now.
and mouse chase.
Yeah,
It's not.
it is. It's
It's
a
not
battle.
thrilling because you don't. The only person you really feel for is Tommy Lee Jones, who's not even a part of anything, and that's the whole point of the movie. Am I?
No, oh no, I
I thought
just,
Henry was turning down my volume because I was yelling so much.
Here, if you don't hear from Chloe, don't worry.
We're mixing her out of this.
But actually, I mean, I'm not necessarily like super invested in Josh Brolin, but I'm
Yeah, 'cause he's
invested
a
in his.
jerk.
I'm invested
He
in
is a
his.
jerk.
He's a jerk like everyone else. No.
But I'm invested in his story. still.
Why?
Just
There's
it's
no-
compelling.
It's
And-
compelling.
And Brolin is awesome.
I mean, here
like
he
that.
is just this.
OMG, I just realized I played the same character in Men in Black. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, his character is just sort of this podunk nobody who stumbles across $2 million after this gunfight in the desert, and then somehow this weirdo psychopath hitman.
He can't get some agua for the man who's dying.
He
Can't
does.
find.
He does, man.
He goes back. He feels bad about it. He gets a big jug of
And
agua, and
then he's fucked.
he's totally screwed.
It's like that's what
That's
you get
what
for
happens to
being-
you.
Bad message to the world.
Don't take agua to cartel members in the desert. I mean,
Kids,
that's,
if you're listening, don't take all of what to the cartel.
Bad message
that's
to
the
people.
moral.
But that's what I mean. Well, no, he can't take the agua. He'll get in trouble. That's the wrong message to be sending out to the world.
Well, I think that's the whole point
What's
to
the
this.
point
Is
of the
there
movie?
is no point to the movie.
Exactly.
That's the point of the movie. Is there is no
Useless.
point.
Useless.
Useless.
No.
Oh,
It's-
God. It's like all that.
There are plenty of pointless movies out there, but I would say this one feels justified.
This one, I mean,
it's-
it just tells such an amazing story.
Yeah, and
I
it's
mean,
this-
sometimes films
They're
don't have
great
to-
performances. It looks beautiful. It's great action, and the violence is very effective, and it's just a awesome little kind of cat and mouse chase.
Sometimes film is just there to tell stories, not to tell a story with a point or a moral or something like that. Like
Well,
Wind
then
River,
I
I
don't
think.
want to hear it.
I think a lot of these films have done a spectacular job of doing that.
Don't wanna waste my
recently, we've Detroit, Wind River. There's always some sort of underlying
I'm not
message.
saying
in
it has
these.
to be like the be all end all, like a more, like raises you up a level as far as your world knowledge and everything.
Yeah.
But goodness, something.
But I mean,
Something.
well, you watch these films and you can appreciate how it's well crafted, well acted,
Yes.
well edited, and how
For not. For not.
it's not for naught. I mean, haven't you heard that? I mean, it's a term art for art's sake, and there are some instances where that's
Because it's really not pretentious. It's so
No.
Are
overly.
you joking me?
No.
Are you
It's-
kidding me?
it's incredibly
that the
simple.
coin BS is not pretentious to you? No, you have to choose.
Oh,
I don't
I
have
love-
to choose
that's
anything.
my
You're the one who put this coin in front of my face. I'm
That's-
not going to do a thing.
That's my favorite scene in the movie.
Idiot. Ugh. Ugh. Hate it. So stupid.
Well, I think if anything, that's the point of the randomness, just the utter. Because I mean, you have this battle of wits between Llewellyn Moss and Anton Chigurh, right? Mm-hmm. And what happens to this battle of wits between the two of them? It's not resolved.
Mm-hmm. That's what the Coen Brothers do. It's like
Well,
it's a circle pretty much is
What
all the
happens?
movies.
I mean, how does it end? Llewellyn Moss somehow gets hunted down by these moron cartel guys in their pickup truck, and they just shoot the shit out of his hotel room and haul ass out of there. And that's it. So this grand battle of wits between, this down on his luck, hard scrabble cowboy, ultra cowboy type, and this psychopath, genius weirdo, it comes to naught. There is no resolution to it.
Oh, add to the Hugh Jackman chappy haircut list.
Oh,
Anton
his hair.
Chigurh.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is actually really funny. So I was on Netflix earlier, and the synopsis for No Country for Old Men it's something like, at the first sentence is, someone comes across some money and has to run for it, and then the next line is, but a man with a bad haircut thinks otherwise.
Yeah.
It's like, I just feel like the Coens paid Netflix so they could have.
Netflix has hilarious little things like that.
Yeah,
It's a
on
good
occasion
one.
they
It feels
do
very
some really
Coen Brothersy.
goofy- Yeah, I mean, that's what they do on all these. I mean, they have just weird little things in their film. Like, I remember, what was it, Barton Fink? He gets bitten on the forehead by a mosquito or something like that, John Turturro's character. And so he
think so.
spends a good part of the film with this huge whelp on his forehead. It's just weird stuff like that. But Anton Chigurh and his weird haircut,
Yeah.
post-disco, pre-Reagan era.
Yeah. But I mean, actually, in terms of a point, I do feel like it's called No Country for Old Men. I feel like one point
Tommy
is.
Lee Jones, he's doesn't. Yeah, I know.
It's like-
he's from the old westerns. It's not hard to figure it out. Tommy Lee Jones is from the old westerns where there's good and evil and good winds. And
Yeah,
blah,
and the
blah,
world is
blah.
now much
No
more
country
ambiguous.
for him, and he can't blah blah. Whatever.
You
They
don't know
got
who's
these
good.
kids with the green hair and the,
Yeah,
and the bones in their nose.
Yeah. Punks, man.
It's no country for old men.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I do find the movie. One thing the Coen Brothers are great at is injecting humor into anything. Mm-hmm. They can make any dark, sad, horrifying scene have comedy in it, and not many other people can do that.
I mean, do they really do that with No Country for Old Men?
I think so.
It's like, which scenes in particular are you thinking of?
Well, I mean, there's even a scene like where he's shoots the guys in the office, and the guy's like, "Well, are you gonna kill me?" And then the guy says,
Do you know?
"Do you see me?"
Yeah.
And it's just like, and even just in terms of the performance, it's like, or when in the coin toss scene where it looks like he's about to kill him, he's like, "Oh no, don't put that with the rest of the other coins," even though it is. You know, it's just like little stuff like that. That's, I'm not saying it's laugh out loud
That's
funny.
pretentious. Eesh.
Yeesh.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I just can't.
Doors have been opened. Truth revealed.
Truth is such a subjective thing.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Is that too pretentious for you?
But yeah, I mean, I love the performances. Roger Deakins' cinematography is amazing.
Yep.
I mean, the shots of it, I mean, particularly early in the film,
Beautiful.
when he stumbles across the cartel shootout, and then later when he returns to that scene, and the light and the use of light, and the truck is I mean, it's so gorgeous just watching it.
I can't wait to see Blade Runner 2049 because he's
doing the
Yeah.
cinematography for
It's
that.
gonna be good.
it's gonna look good.
I don't know. I'm so torn. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, just see it, Brandon, and then you'll figure
Yeah.
it
We'll
out.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Brayden, do
We'll
it,
help you
and
through
we'll
it.
have a conversation about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Come back next Thursday and we'll talk.
Ay, ay, ay.
I mean,
I
everything is
like
lined
it.
up for it to be brilliant, and but somehow I'm still just kind of going, oh no.
That's fair. It's big shoes to fill.
Yeah, well, I just don't know if it'll live up to my expectations because I love the original director's cut. I had to say it. They expect it now.
Yeah.
Anyhow, No Country for Old Men. I mean,
It's one of my favorites of the Coens, so.
Cinematography, yeah, it's one of my favorites by them as well. It's up there, top 3 definitely.
Probably me too.
And you hate it. What is wrong with you?
What's your least favorite?
Coen Brothers movie?
Yeah.
I kind of have to say, oh shoot, what's it called?
Hail Caesar?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Thank you.
love Hail Caesar.
Probably Hail Caesar.
I wasn't too keen. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was certainly better than most of the schlock put out by Hollywood these days. But it wasn't. I guess it wasn't up to the Coen Brothers. But then again, I guess it was intended to be just sort of lighthearted fun.
Which I loved.
Yeah, which everybody's
Looks like you're
entitled to do that.
expecting rain.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's entitled to do that. I mean, particularly the Coen Brothers, because they do have some very, very quirky, clever humor. Yeah, that's probably down there on my list, though. But I mean, if saying is Hail Caesar is like my least favorite film they've ever done, that's still. I mean, if you look at their entire oeuvre of works, oh, Hail Caesar's the worst thing they've ever done. Well, that's just remarkable. Mm-hmm. I mean, Michael Bay would never,
Yeah.
in a million years, he'd have to sell multiple souls to the devil in order to have
Get
that
some
kind of.
Horcruxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's too bad, Chloe?
I'm sorry.
I'm having you talk about all these movies that are just not good. So
Well, if we do a Harry Potter,
yeah. We'll have to
Yeah.
do a
Harry Potter
special. Yeah. That I'd be down. Would you be down
You
for
know,
that,
I
Chloe?
like a lot of movies.
Oh yeah.
I do.
Oh,
I
know.
really do.
I know.
I like a lot of like actual movies, not just Harry Potter movies.
of everything that we've covered so far, what's actually been your favorite?
For some reason, a movie we haven't talked about popped into. I was gonna be like Demolition. We didn't talk about that.
I like Demolition. It's
We didn't talk about that at all.
What is
It's a,
Demolition?
it's by the guy who directed Wild and Dallas Buyers Club.
It's
and
so good.
Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's this businessman who
It's a
his-
grief movie again.
his wife
Oh,
is
yeah.
his wife is killed, and it's all about him trying to figure out how to deal with grief.
Let me
and,
think.
and a lot of that is him smashing things.
What have we
That's
talked
cool.
about? What have we talked about?
Like Detroit, Dunkirk,
Uh-huh.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Is that it?
Ghost
That's not
Story. You didn't
Dark
like
Tower.
Ghost Story, I remember.
Dark Tower.
it. I don't know. Probably, like, I don't know. I'll get back to you.
All right.
Okay.
Probably a retro one.
Yeah.
High Noon.
Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break.
God damn.
No, Logan Lucky.
Oh, cool.
Best one so far.
That's a good film.
Good one.
I was just quoting it a bunch this morning at breakfast.
Low
Holds up.
sodium.
Yeah. Who thinks of that?
Incarcerated.
No bacon. Okay, that's the last one.
Is it this one?
All right, Brayden, any other thoughts about No Country? Or Chloe? Any other things you want to say? Get out into
I
the
want to
world.
like it. I wish they just. I like their visions. Like stylistic. Again, like Wes Anderson. I just cannot deal with the stories.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I like that. I like a departure.
How did you feel after you watched it?
Amazed.
Amazed?
Yeah.
At what?
Yeah.
Everything. It was an incredible experience to watch. It was thrilling. It was beautiful and violent and shocking and yeah.
I mean, I don't need a point for the story. The story,
Well, me
a lot
neither,
of times.
but I feel like it wanted you to. I feel like it wanted to really like blow your mind. That's my thing. Like so much stuff was so obvious. Like the two, like when he's walking down the thing and he sees the three guys and he's all bloody and he's like, I'll give you $100 for your jacket, whatever, right? And one of them's nice and the other two are bad. And it's just so like black and white.
So is Detroit.
Was that a bad pun?
I'm still trying to make up my mind on that, whether that was a bad pun or not.
Why is that? I'm not getting it.
Anyway.
Explain it.
You said Detroit black and white.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No.
No, it wasn't.
Meta.
It wasn't, no.
I just don't like the existentialist stuff. Like the Truman Show, I feel like is a good example of
Well,
existentialism or nihilism or something, and this is like, ugh.
Logan Lucky, there was really no point in that.
Yeah, but at least you cared about the characters, for goodness sake. And they had more to them than just money. Like, they wanted the money for a reason. They had morals. They had interesting relationships with one another, blah, blah, blah. That's all.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, who's Tommy Lee Jones roommates with? If
Al
somebody
Gore.
interested. Al Gore, that's right. That's pretty,
Harvard.
that's neat.
They were at Harvard
Yeah.
together.
Harvard, yeah.
Roomies.
Neato.
Nito Mosquito.
I feel like I really upset you guys. I made
That's
you
okay.
sad.
No.
No,
No.
that's okay.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
Even if it's wrong, you're still entitled.
First the Frappuccino lady, now this.
Now this. You're letting them down,
Horrible
Chloe.
week. Horrible week.
You're letting them down, Chloe.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, you're going to be asking for half frappuccinos.
Well,
Hot frappuccinos.
sounds good.
They will come.
I don't know what a frappuccino is, so I can't really.
Let's not get into it.
No.
It's just a,
Let's just say that you can't make a hot one. Frappuccinos are, by definition,
Frozen
frozen cold
frozen
drinks.
cappuccinos.
no. It's like
Frappuccino?
it's like a milkshake.
Yeah, it's like a.
Ooh.
It's like
I mean, they're.
Why
they-
would you want a hot milkshake? That's gross.
I know.
Yeah, exactly, right? So.
Stupid. Like, get real.
Yeah. Anywho. But no, old Country for Old Men, I think is brilliant. It's something
Country
that's
for old men.
no country for old men. Old country for no men. No country for nobody nowhere.
But also maybe just because I'm a romantic. Like, I like the good. I believe in the good guy.
That's all right.
There are many a good people in this world.
Well, that's why I like these films where there's no clear-cut good guy. Well, I mean, Tommy Lee Jones, I guess, to an extent, but he's not.
Was useless.
He's more a lawman than he is, I guess. I mean, he does this because it's his job, and there's that expectation that you do your job well, and it's not really that he's. Oh, all this drug running is terrible, and they never. There's no exposition at any point where all these drugs are killing our country,
Which is
and
probably
it's
why I
just.
couldn't get behind it. What the heck?
Well, I think that's the whole point to it is there's not it's not really a moral tale in that do this and lead a virtuous life. It's sort of it's a mess. It's complicated. It's random, and that's largely what life is. It's not any easy or clear cut decisions.
What do you think the characters were round?
Like, well-rounded.
Like flat versus round. Like, did you think they were fully developed real characters?
I would say
No, but that's not.
not overly so, but I think Tommy Lee Jones was he and Brolin are enough of a character that
That's not what the Coen brothers do though. Is make well-rounded characters. Like I honestly can't think of any of the characters in any of their films that are like multi-dimensional complex.
I'm not saying they have to be overly complex. Like, I'm not, but they can be.
Well, Llewyn Davis, right?
Yeah.
He was just awful.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still a very compelling character, even though he's essentially just one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a very compelling.
I just
character.
can't. I just cannot.
I like that. I like the line that Tommy Lee Jones says where he's like looking for a man who's recently drunk milk.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, some of the stuff they do like that at Coen Brothers, it's great.
Oh,
But,
we just missed him. Sorry. That's the last
Wendell.
one.
Well, did you see The Master?
Yep.
What did you think of that?
You hate it, don't you?
You hated it,
I
right?
hated it.
Exactly. I knew it. Brilliant film.
Yeah.
And again, everybody in that. I'm not a Paul Thomas fan. Like one of the a few films I ever walked out of was Magnolia. I thought Magnolia was atrociously bad.
I like it.
I don't know why, but I did something about it. Just I mean, because the cast was amazing: Julianne Moore, Paul Thomas Anderson,
Tom Cruise.
But it just something about it just kind of sat with me wrong. But The Master I thought was brilliant, and there was no point to that, and everybody in it was just awful.
Maybe I'm just too romantic,
Yeah, maybe so.
pure-hearted.
Yeah,
Could
that's
be.
all right.
You're young and naive.
Yeah.
Not.
Scandal is here.
I'm not.
Words are being thrown across the table.
I'm not naive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're not naive. I almost called you.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Spit
Never
it
mind.
out.
Never
Spit it
mind.
out. Never mind.
Never mind.
Okay.
Well. All right. Well, let's move on.
I don't like PTA. Yeah, I don't like Paul Thomas Anderson either.
I
What is
Love
what
PTA.
list his movies and I'll say yes or no. Cause I'm like,
Inherent Vice, The
There Will-
Master, There Will Be Blood, Magnolia,
Punch Drunk Love.
Boogie Nights, Punch Drunk Love. Really, the only two
I
by
like
him.
Punch Drunk Drug, Punch Drunk
Punch Drunk
Love
Drunk.
Punch Drunk Drug, Buddy.
enough, and I liked
Inherent Vice is my favorite.
Inherent Vice.
The only two by him that I've really liked were The Master, which
Boogie
I thought was
Nights.
brilliant, and Boogie Nights. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. There Will Be Blood.
Oh, I love it.
There were some good bits, but again, Daniel Day-Lewis, I just find him. I don't know, something about him just turns me off to. And Inherent Vice, I wasn't quite sure what was going on.
They were
there.
making.
Oh, well, I think it's mainly the point. I think it's so ridiculous
Oh,
that
yeah.
it's so overly complicated that it's
Like
you're
the
just.
only way to understand that would be to
Yeah.
drop acid yourself
Yeah.
and then go in and watch.
Well,
it.
I mean, it's pretty much like you. I know. I kind of thought that on the first time, and it kind of aggravated me. But after the times I've seen it since, it's really just you watch it and you just experience what the characters are going through, and the plot is so overly complicated and ridiculous that there's
Yeah.
no real way to follow it for the most part.
So
And
you don't
it's-
even bother.
No, you just you just
They're
go through
along
this.
for the ride.
Yeah, you just go through this kind of strange world with Joaquin Phoenix, who's high all the time, and it's just this very surreal ride. And it's one of my favorite movies. Actually, I love it.
Really?
I love it. Yeah,
Really.
Dang.
I love
I
it.
didn't hate it, but I was kind of indifferent to it. I mean, it had some really funny bits, and then it had some really what the hell bits.
I mean, it's definitely not for everybody.
Yeah.
I'll
I'd rather
absolutely
watch.
agree with that.
I'd
That's
rather
an
watch
understatement.
like Leaving Las Vegas. Is that the one with Johnny Depp? Which one's with Johnny Depp? I'd rather watch that one. You know what I'm talking about?
Fear and Loathing.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Bit
yeah.
different than Leaving Las Vegas.
Little bit.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Little
Yeah,
bit.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. There you go.
All right, Braden, or everybody, what's before I get Chloe for the discussion? What you gonna rate it out of 5? It's a big 5 for me.
It's a big 5 for
big
me
5.
as well.
Chloe?
I give it a 1.5.
Oh,
For the cinematography, I guess.
brutal.
Not even a half a star to give it a nice round 2 for Javier Bardem's hair.
That's where the half comes from in the first place.
Oh, mystery.
Did you know Josh Brolin? He broke his collarbone or something 2 days after getting the role, and he's like, "Dang it! Now I can't do the movie. I'm really looking forward to it." But as you know, he's got that going on most of the time anyway. And so it works out pretty well.
Yeah, this is true.
Was he the one that was filmed at a McDonald's or something, drunk, yelling at someone in a drive-through?
Oh no! Come on, Josh.
I don't know.
That's what happens
I haven't heard
when
about.
nepotism plays a role in your fame. You go crazy.
So, all right, well, we can move on from that. The next thing,
I liked the wife. Her accent was good.
Oh, she's really
Kelly
good.
MacDonald, yeah.
Yeah, she's really
She's
good.
the brave girl. You know?
She's not in it enough. I liked her a lot. She's not in it nearly enough. It was
Kelly
just-
MacDonald.
Oh, sorry.
trailers. But no, she wasn't in it enough. I wish she'd been in it more. The relationship between her and Llewellyn was quite funny.
Yeah.
Again, the wives. Nobody cares about the wives.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem is she's written very one-dimensionally. But then again, multi-dimensionality is not really Coen Brothers. Big. So it's taking these characters that I guess are sort of archetypes and placing them into a strange situation and seeing how they play out.
Yeah.
So Josh Brolin late night rage at Pat Driver and Del Taco drive-thru.
Oh, look at that dude's door.
What the heck? This is
Why
11
are
minutes?
we watching this?
Oh, it's 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Really? Hopefully they don't associate it with everything.
Oh, that's him?
How drunk was he?
I think pretty drunk.
Was he driving?
Yep.
Dude, that guy's legit.
That's bad. Oh, he hit someone's car and the...
Asshole too. Yeah, you know what? You're a fucking asshole. You know why? Because you look at that and there's a bunch of scratches and you continue to this. You know why? Because you suck as a cat, dude.
Aww.
Sit on your bar.
Well, now I'm really glad I don't like this movie because he's a jerk
Really,
face.
dude. Get the out of here.
He's got some issues.
He's just yelling at everyone because he hit somebody's car. He can afford to pay for the person's scratches.
Yeah. Well, when you're drunk.
But also don't drive. There's a lot of
little
things.
Well, I
drunk.
think she shouldn't do
There's
that.
a lot of
Little drunk.
It's a nice video.
Shouldn't be at the drive-thru.
Yeah. Just in general, don't go to the drive-thru.
Don't go to drive-thrus
Don't go to the
anyways.
drive-thru.
That's a bad idea.
Oh, so we can get on to a little bit of news. So first thing is the James. Have you all read about James Cameron?
Yeah.
No.
You
I
haven't?
tried
What
to
he said
avoid
about-
reading about James
he
What he
said
said
Wonder
about what-
Woman
He's
was
What
a
is that?
step backwards
so he
for
yeah
feminism.
he called spoke out directly saying
Like he's one to talk.
yeah no
Yeah.
well this is the thing, so he said it's a step backwards for like she said, and this isn't the exact quote, but he said Linda Hamilton, who is the protagonist in Terminator, was not a beauty icon, so that what makes her a
Yeah.
proper feminist
Because if
character.
you're pretty, you can't, it's unfeminist.
What does that
to be
have to
pretty.
do with anything? I mean, see, that's the thing is
Exactly.
everybody sort of. Well, I don't know if everybody, but it seems as though for quite some time, Terminator 2 was lauded as being this big feminist. I don't see what's feminist about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, you've got Linda Hamilton, and she's all buff and everything, but I mean, I would think that Taylor Sheridan's films are more
yeah.
feminist
Wholeheartedly agree.
than that, because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this sort of not conventionally attractive woman and I'm gonna make her ripped and I'm gonna have her doing chin-ups and then she runs around with a shotgun. I mean, putting women into action roles as like action stars, that doesn't necessarily make a feminist film.
Yeah.
It just makes a
That's insulting in and
super
of itself.
masculine.
Well, so Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman, replied on Twitter like a few days ago, and she gave an awesome response, and I have it here. So it's more than a sentence, so stay focused here. So James Cameron's inability to understand what Wonder Woman is or stands for to women all over the world is unsurprising, as though he is a great filmmaker, he is not a woman. Strong women are great. His praise of my film Monster and our portrayal of a strong yet damaged woman was so appreciated. But if women have to always be hard, tough, and troubled to be strong, and we aren't free to be multidimensional or celebrate an icon of women everywhere because she's attractive and loving, then we haven't come very far, have we? I believe women can and should be everything, just like male lead characters should be. There's no right and wrong kind of powerful woman, and the massive female audience who made the film a hit it is can surely choose and judge their own icons of progress.
Yeah. Do
Like,
it.
That's the way
That's the whole
that's the
point.
way to say it.
That's like what I was saying about What Happened to Monday. If you recall.
Oh yeah,
Still hating on that movie. Sorry.
that's okay. But it's.
Yes,
I mean,
Patty.
James Cameron is just known for being kind of a dick.
That was very
Yeah.
eloquent.
So
He
I'm
kind of is.
I'm completely on the side of
I
Patty
mean,
Jenkins.
he goes from Linda Hamilton to sexy blue cat people.
You love those blue
Yeah.
cat people.
You know, he did some other stuff in between. There was the one about the boat.
Titanic.
Oh, Titanic?
Yeah,
Right, that one.
that old one. Yeah.
So
But
absolutely nothing feminist about that movie.
Because one
Nah.
thing against him also is he basically writes and directs his movies and characters in cliches.
Yeah.
I mean, now sometimes that can be a good thing and be enjoyable, but in terms of him being a progressive filmmaker with strong female characters, I don't know if I would agree with that.
No, I don't agree with that in the slightest. Just because you've got like a super tough, ultra masculine role and you
Yeah.
put a woman in it doesn't make it feminist. There's nothing, I mean, that's. It might be, might argue it's feminist in the fact that women can be tough, but saying that women have
they
to be
shouldn't
this
have
way.
to be taken seriously.
be feminist
Which is one
is-
thing I respect about Wind River, too. It was realistic, and it's like the women fought hard to, free themselves and, be powerful and everything. But it's just not always, they're not always going to be
Yeah.
super masculine.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
they don't have to be
There's
super masculine.
Kind of an interesting discussion that I've kind of followed, but in dealing with the girl with the dragon tattoo and Elizabeth Salander, so it's amazing how kind of internationally known that character is and beloved, but she's not, even though she's a strong character, she's not necessarily a feminist character either. She's just kind of, I guess that's what makes her so good and interesting, is that she's just very strong, very fascinating, but she's not necessarily pointing one way or the other,
Well, I guess that's the whole point to it is that to be feminist, you're not feminist. You're not trying to push an agenda, you simply are.
Right.
And women, there's a whole spectrum of women, as there is a whole spectrum of men, as there is a whole spectrum of types of people within every race, creed, color, whatever, But you don't push an agenda. I guess in this sense, you don't push an agenda by pushing an agenda. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
It's portray people as they are.
It's like
I
why
guess,
it's
would be the-
pointless to be rude about Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
if she makes like little, like, I know little, it sounds odd, but like one of my friends, the guy from my soccer team's
Connor?
daughter. No, he's a grown man. His name is Daniel. He really,
He's a
really likes
grown-ass
it.
man.
Not that Daniel.
Not you. Not Danny.
Not Danny.
Not
Danny
tinfoil
This
hat
is-
curry Danny.
No, this
Danny
is
too.
Daniel number one. Yeah, exactly. Well, unless you count Daniel Radcliffe as Daniel number one, but that might be kind of unfair.
Daniel 3.
No. This is Daniel.
Too many Daniels.
Yeah, I know. Daniel too. He's a big one. But his daughter Mabel, she like loves Wonder Woman, and she's a very feminist little girl and everything. She's very into it, and why not? Just like you're allowed to be. I look up to my mom. My mom was like a model and stuff. That's not
it's-
bad.
No.
Watching Wonder Woman was a very inspiring, and sure, you could take that character and make it very exploitive, but it was very inspiring watching what Wonder Woman was doing in that film. So it's, for both men and women, I would think it's a very progressive, strong character.
Yeah. Also, it's
Yeah.
rude to look at the movie or to say whether it's feminist or not based on that sole character. Like Chris Pine's character was pretty feminist.
Well, I mean,
too.
having one very defined preconceived notion of what feminism is,
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
He's a creepster. No one
Yeah,
likes
he's-
James
I mean,
Cameron.
that's
He cursed out, yeah, like we were talking about last week, he cursed out Josh Brolin for...
Well, apparently, so apparently
Josh
it might be
Brolin,
warranted.
Josh Brolin maybe needed it.
Maybe
Yeah,
warranted.
true. But yeah, I mean, a few James Cameron movies I like, but personally,
Not worth it.
not a fan.
Nope, me neither.
I enjoyed Terminator 2
I like Aliens.
and I like Aliens, but Titanic, I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. I
You
don't
haven't seen
care
it?
to see it.
First time I saw it ever was in theaters when they brought it back. No, obviously not the first time.
The
I'm not Benjamin Button.
The
When they brought it back a
re-release.
few years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I never seen it before.
totally Benjamin
Yeah.
Button it.
I'm like, I didn't cry, nothing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
No waterworks. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's only, and Brayden, you should check it out. It's only 3 hours and 15 minutes.
oh well.
Yeah, I think it's useless.
I'll just
I don't
catch on
get
a
it.
lark sometime and.
Yeah.
I don't
Pop it in.
understand why it's such a big deal.
I don't
It's
either.
like the highest. It was the highest grossing.
But why? But
It's just right place, right time. Honestly.
I guess it's.
People just really wanted some romantic schlock.
Yeah.
I guess. Like.
I don't know why. And it was. I'm guessing it was also one of the first big spectacle movies like that. So
Yeah.
What you talking about?
I mean, not like one of the first, but one of the ones that
Have you ever
used.
seen a? No. All the old movies are like that.
But I mean, I'd say Titanic kind of brought it to a different level in a way. I don't like the movie that much, but I'm just saying a possible reason why some people were interested. Like one of the reasons why Avatar did so well is because
That's
it was one
true.
of the
I
first
thought I was
3D.
curious.
It's like 3D crazy. Everyone blew,
Yeah.
and I like Avatar, but
I
Why do you like Avatar?
it's entertaining.
What is there to?
I like
This
Zoe
is the
Saldana.
disconnect. This is the disconnect here. I like her too.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I
don't know, it's not amazing. I just
Whatever
like
happened
who-
to Sam Worthington? What happened
I
to
don't
him?
know. I'm sad about
Where'd
that.
he go? He was in Man on a Ledge, right?
Yeah.
Didn't see that. Maybe that's where he went. Nobody saw his movies.
he just jumped.
Where
He
is
he was in some big things for a while there.
He was in that movie with Keira Knightley and them.
Well, he was in
Where they all cheated on each other.
Terminator Salvation.
Was he?
Right. Mm-hmm. And he was in this garbage movie called Sabotage.
Yeah, he was in that.
I've never heard of
There was another film, something about demons and angels that he was in. What was that?
Angels and Demons, the Tom
No,
Hanks
it
movie?
wasn't. No, it wasn't that. No, he played some angel. God, what the hell was that? I can't remember what it was called. Anyhow.
Yeah, know who's in a new TV show about being an angel? Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, really?
Fallen Angel, little cute comedy. I'm so in.
Huh. Haven't heard of that.
But I just Avatar was poop. I'm sorry. I went and saw it and I screwed up the times and ended up having to go pay for a 3D one, which I don't like 3D films anyway.
I don't either.
I don't either.
But
Fuck.
I really regretted. I ended up having to pay $12 to see a matinee, and I really regretted that. Really regretted.
Still regretting those $12 spent.
Well, because they, it was like $8 for the ticket for the cost of admission, and then they give you the ludicrous surcharge for the 3D glasses.
Did you get to keep the glasses?
Nope. You had to put them back into the little recycling thing, and then they took them somewhere and sterilized them, and then
You hope.
gave them back out to people. So,
You get to keep the Harry Potter ones because they look like Harry Potter's glasses.
did they have a little piece of tape on the bridge?
His glasses were broken for like 5 minutes.
Those are the 5 minutes
Well,
Brayden saw.
the fixed glasses are boring. Everybody wants their broken glasses. They're more
Why?
quaint. They're more quaint.
No,
Plus,
no,
we
no.
don't really know magic to fix them. Magic's.
Reparo. All she
Duh.
says is Reparo. Alright.
So if I were to
Actually, that
break my
brings-
glasses right here, right now, would you be able to fix them with that word?
I didn't bring my wand. So no.
Fuck.
Unlikely excuse. Unlikely excuse.
Likely story.
Did you see the new I'm so sorry. It's just
It's
gonna
okay.
happen. Do you see the new Daniel Radcliffe trailer where he's a
Jungle?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I
jungle
haven't seen
Oh,
it.
yeah.
survivor movie? It's just Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe.
So
So
it's
as Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe. Starring Daniel Radcliffe with Daniel Radcliffe. And introducing Daniel Radcliffe.
I love Braden. How you just keep.
Yeah.
There's a point
looks
where
good.
we're like, oh, that's so funny, Braden. What Braden's saying. Just keep going. It's amazing. Oh
It looks good.
yeah. Oh man.
Anyway.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to go look for it.
You don't have
I'll
to.
just,
You already
I'll
know
just
the
go to
synopsis.
YouTube and put in Daniel Radcliffe. And
Yeah, you'll probably find it. It'll probably be there.
probably pop up.
Yeah. All right. Well. Oh, and we should note. Toby Hooper passed away.
Yeah, that's
Director of
unfortunate.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. He
Oh,
did
I was like, who dat?
a bunch
Oh,
of
yeah.
those 70s, 80s horror. He did, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Poltergeist. He did Salem's Lot. Trying to remember.
Never seen any of those.
You haven't seen Texas Chainsaw? Oh, you should see
I
that.
haven't seen that in a long time. It's
Brutal.
man, that is a mind fucking.
It's agonizing, yeah, but it's
Ugh, but I
incredible.
should totally see it. I'm very
love it.
delicate. I
I know.
can't deal with that
Yeah.
stuff.
I know.
Well, get
Things
a
stick
teddy
with
bear
me.
and some warm milk, and make
I'm
sure it's nice
lactose
and.
intolerant, Brayden.
I didn't say which type of milk. I didn't say go get dairy milk. Almond, soy,
Teddy bear.
I don't know.
I've only
Your
had one stuffed animal.
Daniel
His name is
Radcliffe
Finn.
plushie.
Do they make those?
I don't know. They
Probably so.
probably do.
You can find one maybe.
You could do that.
I don't want
That's
to
your
push
thing.
it. I
Maybe in
really
Japan.
Do
can't.
hand stitched Daniel Radcliffe plushies. It'd be huge.
I do where I work. We make little dolls like they're ugly dolls. You know, ugly dolls. So I could do it.
Yeah, why not?
I could make a little Daniel Radcliffe doll. That'd be cute. I call it a Harry Potter doll just because I don't want to get too
sure.
confused. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Sure.
Less weird.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there are copyright issues with saying it's a Harry Potter doll.
I'm not
You
selling
said
it.
it's a Daniel Radcliffe doll.
God.
I don't think Daniel Radcliffe copyrighted himself. You should copyright Daniel Radcliffe. And then you can get money from Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah. I don't want his money. I just want, have some tea or something. Chat.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
We kind of did that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Now that would be an interesting movie, actually.
Chloe meets Daniel Radcliffe.
T.
No, you remember how when the internet first started and everybody started putting up web pages, the big thing was to go out and buy domain names.
Yeah,
And so if anybody wanted to start a domain, they had to purchase the name for that.
my dad was very into that game.
Well, what if people started doing that with names and started copyrighting names? Just what an interesting dystopian future type film. If I see a treatment for that in the next few years, I'm gonna get an attorney and I'm going after you.
The film buds are coming for you. Yeah.
I'll hit you with my crutches.
Yeah. All right. Well, the last thing Braden, you had brought it up. I had completely forgotten about it, but we had this past weekend was the lowest box office weekend in 16 years.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
No way.
Yeah.
Oh
The top
my
film
God.
was Hitman's Bodyguard at
Yeah.
like 10.2 million or something
Yeah.
like that.
And so, is Hollywood fucked? I mean, I've been saying that for a while, but I mean, all the movies out right now are not very
It's
good.
back to school.
Yeah, all the films out right now are not all the films.
Beside the indie movies.
Most of the big budget films out right now are utter garbage. I'm not pulling my punches. Utter fucking garbage. They're horrible. Like if you look at what's out right now, Hitman's Bodyguard, ugh, and that was the biggest gross in the week. Ugh.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you
It
seen it?
pains me to say that because I like Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I hate Ryan
I'm not
Reynolds.
crazy
I
about him.
love Samuel L. Jackson.
Jackson's been wearing on me the last few years.
Yeah,
Really?
He's just doing the same
thing over and over.
This snarky,
Yeah.
quippy, like essentially just being Samuel L. Jackson, and it's just so
Exactly.
annoying.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides Django Unchained,
Yeah.
and then I think there's one other. It just
Well,
he's in like
King-
I wasn't a big fan of
did not like him in that.
what
though.
was it, Black Snake Moan? I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I quite liked him in that. Long Snake, the one that he did, Christina Ricci, where she's a meth head and he's an old blues guitarist, and then he sort of takes control of her and helps her detox. You've never seen
I
that?
don't think so.
It's a messed up film, but he's quite good in it.
I mean, there are some performances I like of his, but over the last few years,
Same thing.
and he's in like 10 things a year. He's like The Rock or Kevin Hart. It's just constant.
You don't like it? What's with all these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane? Come on.
Those stakes.
Yeah, but not for a decade.
Great.
Not for
Yeah.
a century.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of like the last like 5 years, let's say 5-6 years, it's just
He's never gonna get that Oscar at this rate.
he should just stick working with Tarantino and not do anything else.
Yeah. What has he done with Tarantino? He did
And basically
Django.
every
He did Django,
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight.
Oh, and the Hateful Eight was the other one.
Bill,
Did he do
Smack
Pulp
Will.
Fiction?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like the. He was definitely
is
in
a
that
tasty
movie.
burger.
Yeah.
Oh, right. With his Jerry curl and the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Did you
right.
see
yeah,
those-
Okay.
Some really Irish people, like they had a very distinctive accent, redubbed the whole movie with that accent.
No. Might have to check that out.
That sounds peculiar.
Yeah, I agree.
To say
It's,
the least.
it's quite peculiar.
Huh. But yeah, it's surprising that 16-year low. Like 1 or 2 years, that's
Well,
fine.
That's
But
crazy.
16 years, that's a lot.
I think it's a lot of it is the films on offer right now, and it's a shame that more people aren't turning out for really spectacular films like Wind River and Logan Lucky.
Yeah.
And there are a few other films out there, indie films. People go watch them.
Yeah. Like there's Good Time.
Good Time.
Ingrid
right?
Goes
Yeah.
West.
Somebody else should see Good Time before me and tell me how it is, because I don't want to waste my time.
It's supposed to be quite good.
Brigsby Bear.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah. Okay.
Good
Okay.
info.
wanted to
Brigsby
see.
Bear, I've heard, is pretty good.
Oh yeah, there's a guy who comes in to
Well, Goose,
talks to Will,
yeah, I know.
who was raving about it, and so yeah, there's that, and then Wind River, Good Time, Ingrid Goes West, and I think
I
maybe
mean, there's
one.
some good, interesting films out there, but they don't get the
Is it like-
publicity because they're not multi-million-dollar films, because they're not big action films.
Could also be, are there any kids movies out right now? That's where the market's at.
I thought there was a children's film. No, I guess not. Okay. I mean, what else is out right now? trying to
Like
think
Dark
of-
Tower and
Dark
Didn't
Tower
hear.
is still out.
maybe Detroit, Annabelle
A lot of
Creation.
places I saw are still playing Wonder Woman, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I mean, God, what is it going into its 3rd month now?
Yeah.
Yeah. They played it for free on the lawn at Southern Village.
Oh,
That was cool.
well, I don't make it out that way much.
Yeah, you
That's on
hate
the
Southern
toll.
Village. We've talked about this.
Do I hate Southern Village?
Were you not the one who said? Oh, you weren't. Sorry, I just got
No,
you.
I'm not.
I just got you really confused with Charlie from Cup of Joe.
I am not Charlie, although I do agree with Charlie on many points.
Charlie's scared of Southern Village.
Well, I mean, it's
it's
like
very
all these.
Stepford wife.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like Meadowmont, right? It's all these sort of secluded areas so that the super wealthy don't actually have to go out and mingle with the rest of us plebeians.
We come
So-
to them for free movies.
All right. Well, I missed that little bit because I was putting my dog outside, but it sounded fascinating.
It wasn't.
No.
It really wasn't.
All right. Well, then that's about all the news we got. And so we'll just move on to the listener questions. So the filmbudspodcast@gmail.com is the address that you can reach us. And we would really love to hear from you. Any questions or comments, feel free to send them in. Or you can also send us stuff on Facebook and Twitter. Anything like that. So just let us know. All right. So the one we got today, or for this week, is from Taylor in Minnesota. Another ambiguous name. Don't know if it's boy or girl.
They say, what part
Sheridan.
of Minnesota?
Just
They
Minnesota.
say,
Oh.
you like my movie, did you, Chloe? It's him.
It's Taylor. Yeah, it's. All right, so he says, hello, started listening to your show on episode 8 and have been greatly enjoying it on my morning trips to work.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Dang, where did they work in another state?
They could.
God. gosh.
A lot of Minnesota people actually work. I forget whether it's North Dakota or South Dakota, but there's big oil boom in one of
Oh my
those two
gosh.
states, and a lot of Minnesota guys go over there and work. So it's an interesting thing because the population is so sparse in those states. And Minnesota has a lot of well-educated, experienced people, and so big migration in Minnesota. Anyhow, demographics in the U.S. and strange stuff like sorry, the economy in the U.S. Sorry,
Oh, it's okay.
Taylor.
Taylor. Say Taylor, we're
Minnesota?
sorry.
Well, I'm
So-
just curious what part of Minnesota because my fiance's from Minnesota, so.
Oh. Yeah, didn't say. Yeah, enjoying on my morning trips to work. Wanted to ask if any of you had seen the Netflix Death Note movie yet. Despite my adult age, I enjoy anime, and Death Note was one of the high points. I was greatly disappointed, however, in the new movie, and wondered your thoughts on anime adaptations. Can it be done well? Thanks for what you do, Taylor in Minnesota.
Is that the one with Nat Wolf with blonde hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's been getting.
I mean, the blanket
dirt.
statement. I watched anime when I was a teenager, and I don't watch it nearly as much now. I mean, is there anything that I really watch? No. every now and again, I might watch a film, but I don't really. I mean, there's not really the quality. The 90s were the heyday, and now there's an inundation of it, but most of it's crap. So I'm just thinking of old series like the original Ghost in the Shell series. The animated was quite good. Stand on the Complex was quite good. Cowboy Bebop. I mean, there's some really good stuff out there, but not so much anymore. Most of the stuff is overtaken by tween crap now, which is awful. But to his point, there has never been, never, ever has there been a good live action adaptation.
I mean, I enjoyed the Ghost in the Shell adaptation from earlier this year. It's not amazing, but I enjoyed it.
Because he likes Scarlett Johansson.
Well, yeah, kinda.
I didn't see it, but I didn't see it because I knew it was going to be crap.
Well,
I don't care if Scarlett Johansson's in it. Beat
It's-
Takeshi's in it. Takeshi Takado.
And they're good.
And he's awesome.
It's an
and
entertaining
I love him,
movie.
But maybe again because I just am familiar with the manga, and the manga is so well written, and it's so interesting, and it gets into all these complex issues about AI and hacking and what is reality when we start moving into the realm of like digital recreation of human psyche and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's all this very sort of cutting edge. And Masamune Shirow, who did the original manga, put a lot of research. I mean, a ton. It's overwhelming how much research he puts into these things.
Well,
And obviously none of that gets translated into the film because it's mostly just sort of glitzy glam visuals and action sequences.
I did have a chance to catch the Netflix Death Note, directed by Adam Wingard, who did The Guest, which I absolutely love.
With Jason Bateman.
No, with
No.
the guy from Downton Abbey.
Oh, yeah.
And he also
I almost interned on that set.
really
Yeah.
Downton Abbey.
No, The Guest. The Guest.
The Guest. But so I caught it Saturday after work, and it was I know nothing about the anime. That I know it's held in very high acclaim, and so I'm definitely nothing against that. But the movie itself was horrible. It was really bad.
Yeah, well,
It was just like so needlessly grotesque and mean-spirited and cliched, and it was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Willem Dafoe, and he plays the
Love Willem.
yeah. He was good as this as the creature guy. I don't know his name, but then it kind of what you're saying. It does just feel so like here we need to take elements from this and put it into the live action so it'll please fans. But it's like there's a guy called Light in the movie.
Yeah.
And that sounds so stupid. And he's he likes to sit up on top of the chair, like kind of crouching. And it's just like in a live action setting, it looks so stupid and lame. And the movie, and then the violence in the movie is just feels so unmotivated and gross, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
So I'm sure most fans of the anime are disappointed, but I'm just as a movie, itself, regardless of where it came from, is
this
not
just a
good.
standalone film? Just a 2
Yeah.
hour, 1.5, 2
It's
hour
only like
thing?
it's only like an hour and a half. Thank God. So,
Yeah. And I mean, see, that's the thing, is apparently
Dang.
the source material is quite lengthy. And
Yeah.
then trying to condense that down.
It's very quick, and it just I don't get it. So
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
not
a
good.
lot of people, from what I understand, a lot of people who watch the anime or who have read the manga still don't quite understand. I've never seen it myself, but it's a lot of sort of battle of wits and people making all these very complex little plays to, and I don't know. I mean, I've never seen a
What's it
live
about?
it's this a guy this teenager who finds a book called Death Note, and you can write someone's name in it and then say how they die.
And then it happens.
And then it happens like the first kill. I mean, this isn't like the first
Just
15
burn
minutes.
the book. Movie over.
No, but he likes it.
Oh, he's bad.
Yeah, and so he like
Is that
there's
Nat Wolf?
yeah, there's a bully at school, and so he writes his name in, and he says decapitation, and there you see this ladder that
Oh
falls.
my God, I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
out. I'm out. I'm done.
Okay, I'll stop there. Give you a tease.
There've been a lot of those kind of movies lately, like that one with that girl, the wishes one, where she wishes that girl just. What the heck?
Yeah, and
this is bad.
And it's clearly
Stop
like
it.
super derivative of. I
Oh,
guess
the
probably
one that they
this.
just
Teen
had,
Angst.
Annabelle Creation?
No.
Yeah.
It's one that came out maybe a couple weeks before.
Okay.
Will saw it, so maybe ask him what it was. But yeah, the movie is horrible. It's one of the worst of the year by far. So.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
Terrible.
poor Taylor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he said he was
Or
disappointed.
she.
Yeah, but he or she said was disappointed in the movie. So I mean,
I still feel for
So,
Taylor.
yeah, he or she didn't like it.
Looking forward.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
If you're going to write Film Buds podcast, please include a gender.
Yes.
So Chloe will stop being annoying.
Taylor F in Minnesota. Okay, well. Yeah, so don't check out Death Note on Netflix. It's terrible.
Man.
garbage.
Is it bad that I'm kind of interested now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it because I heard the word decapitation.
Don't watch
But-
it.
And it gets
It's-
worse from there, so.
I mean,
What's
I
the
haven't seen
point?
it, and I can guarantee you it's
That's the
gonna
thing.
be bad.
It feels so unmotivated and just exploitative and
Could even be a Coen Brothers movie.
no. Let the Coen Brothers take Death Note and do something with it, but
I don't think they could.
I don't think either.
Death Note.
Yeah, garbage. Under toss, as Brayden I think you said once about something.
Okay. I probably did. A lot of stuff comes out of my mouth.
Yeah. So that's the only one for the week. So again, filmbudspodcast@gmail.com is the address that you can reach us. So anything else that y'all want to mention?
No, I mean,
Any news
that's a listener challenge if you can find
Yeah.
a decent live action adaptation of an anime.
I have something interesting to add.
Yes.
Ed Skrein, whatever, he stepped down.
Oh, right.
Because he was whitewashing.
So
You hear this?
yeah, so the guy
No, what is this?
I know
It's-
stuff that's
Ed
relevant.
Skrein, if that's how you say his name. So he played the villain in Deadpool, and then he was also in was it like Transporter? Maybe?
Yeah, Transporter.
Transporter, not the best actor. But
Wait,
he
one of the original
be a good-
Transporter
No,
series
no.
or the
Model.
reboot, that
the new-
horrible,
the-
shitty
the
reboot?
reboot,
Reboot.
The reboot.
the reboot.
Old Country for Old Men.
So it was attached to the Hellboy remake that's in the works, and just a couple days ago he stepped down from the role that whatever it was, and because of whitewashing
It was a
backlash.
Japanese character.
Yeah, and so he's stepped down, and so
So that's interesting.
yeah,
That is interesting.
That's relevant.
that's one where it's actually had an effect, kind of.
Yeah.
So
There you
That
go.
is-
and,
That is
and
interesting.
the studio probably won't make any changes, but at least he is
Yeah.
making a bit
Good
of a
for
stand.
you, Ed.
Yeah,
Ed doesn't want his house to get egged.
yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So yeah, some interesting controversies going on this week. So
Yeah.
it's-
Well, I remember the last big one that was.
Well, ScarJo.
Was it?
what's going on with her? Whitewashing. Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah,
Well, I was
people were
thinking
pissed.
Tilda Swinton and Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
What was she supposed to be?
It's supposed
Well,
to be Asian.
The character was from Tibet, I believe.
Something like
Or
the
Jennifer.
Nepalese, Tibetan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
If you're working from source material, you need to, if you're gonna stick to the plot, you need to respect the rest of it too.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, especially if it's so irrelevant.
Well,
It's
I
like
mean,
it was for a reason.
let me put it this way though: is the Dark Tower, when Idris Elba was cast in that, fans put up a big stink because they all. I mean, it's never said anywhere in the books. Roland Deschain is white, but
Right.
everybody sort of assumed that.
Well, that's separate though. You've read. I trust you because you know them all very well, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But if the person's from
If the characters.
like Ghost in the Shell, it's literally as
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah. Yeah.
different.
Totally.
I get what you're saying though. That's
Yeah.
interesting. It's an interesting.
I mean,
Point
my,
of view,
my
but-
point. My point is, I guess, should you?
Based on the
Should
best
you-
person for
should
the
you-
role, or
Yeah.
right. But also I don't know the context. Like I don't know how much that had to do with the movie itself.
Well, that's
I
that's
don't know
my
either.
that's my question is how.
Which is why I referenced Ghost in the Shell again. Like obviously it's all about that culture and everything. It made no sense to
Yeah.
me.
Well, I mean, the other thing is the main character in Ghost in the Shell is a cyborg.
Right.
But
it's
that's not an actual. There is no sort of.
But isn't
And I mean,
there-
that's something that Masamune Shirow actually gets into in his comics as he talks in the mangas. He talks about how cyborg bodies don't have to be gendered,
right.
and they don't have to have any kind of racial qualities to them.
Right.
But people, because of their identity, they're ghost. Hence the title Ghost in the Shell. Ghost is the digital representation, the digital recreation of a person.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But their ghost can be put into any body, and because these are sort of imprints of actual people, they have gender and racial identities that they take with them, and so they prefer robotic bodies that represent
right.
their original identity.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyhow, it's an interesting thing, and it's an interesting thing to really think about. But I mean, I guess that's the question: is how pivotal, how crucial, how important are these roles, and does it affect the story if gender, race, and so forth are changed?
Right.
And
It's gonna affect it to the people who care about it. Like, 'cause they're
Yeah.
also all, like we were kind of talking about, like kind of fan-based movies. Like they wouldn't be. They're based on like extensive material and stuff with people
Yeah.
who are, I'm assuming, very serious fans. So, just depends on that.
well, I'm not for whitewashing, but if you throw up that wall, I mean, would then the question becomes, would Idris Elba, for instance, have gotten the role as Roland Deschain? Which I loved him in that role. I think he's spectacular, and he is Roland Deschain. I mean, I really can't think of any other actor
Yeah.
who could portray that character the way he did. But I don't know. I mean,
It's a messy situation.
I'm not for whitewashing.
Yeah. Wasn't Scarlett Johansson
But-
like surrounded by Japanese people though?
Yes, the rest
So
of the
that's-
cast
Well, the
was.
supporting that her partner is not.
Oh yeah,
he's
that's
white.
right. That was played by who is it? The
And then
character in
there's
Bateau.
also the French actress from Clouds of Sils Maria and Juliette Binoche.
Juliette
That's the
Binoche.
lady who I think got the role my mom got originally.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
And that was what you said
Let us
in
know.
in a what film?
Woody Allen?
Oh, a Woody Allen film?
Yeah.
Oh, huh. Interesting. First place I saw her was in one of the Krzysztof Kieslowski films, Red, Blue, White. Which one was it?
I don't know.
Julie Delpy was in one of them, and Juliette Binoche was in one of them.
I don't know.
Anyhow, I'm not for whitewashing, but at the same time, shouldn't you get the best actor?
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. You're right. Also, maybe it's just 'cause I think Scarlett Johansson's a bad actress, but
I don't think she's a bad actress. She's just taken a lot of bad roles.
well, they're kind of one and the same to me in a way, I guess.
Possibly, but you got to make money somehow.
Yeah. I think she could figure it out at this point.
Yeah. Well, I still think, I don't know, you don't like, if I remember correctly, you don't like Under the Skin, but I think it's, I think it's an amazing
Into
film.
it.
But, anywho,
All right. Sorry, my dog just came back in.
again,
All right, so well, that's about it for news and the listener questions. Yeah, again, please feel free to write in. We'd love to hear from you. So we can just move on to our picks of the week. I guess I'll mention. So I've been watching some Tony Scott films. Who, if you don't know, he's the brother of Ridley Scott, who did Alien and Blade Runner. And Tony Scott is his late brother, who he passed away a few years ago. But he's directed Top Gun, Domino, Man on Fire, Unstoppable, True Romance. Let me see what are some others.
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. He's probably one of the most underrated filmmakers out there, and you can see his influence on various filmmakers, even someone like Michael Bay or Steven Soderbergh or David Fincher, and he's very inspiring, and has a very distinct style, and you can see the how he's kind of had to live in his brother's shadow a little bit, because he never really he doesn't have an Alien under his belt, but his filmography is just so good consistently and very, very strong. But anyway, so I've been watching some of the films I haven't seen yet, and I watched his first main feature film called The Hunger. Came out in 1983, and it's this vampire film with David Bowie.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, Catherine Deneuve and Susan Sarandon, and it's
an interesting cast.
yeah, and it's just not an amazing movie, but it's very visually amazing, and it's quite good, and it's an underrated vampire movie, and
Just like Twilight.
yeah, totally. They're basically the same movie, and it's an interesting entry in his filmography, especially since he went on to do mostly action, and this is really not an action movie at all. It's more horror, surrealism, and so that's on. I mean, like, you can rent it on Amazon, but yeah, if you haven't seen many Tony Scott movies, or if you haven't even really heard of him, you should just look up his filmography and start watching some like Top Gun and Days of Thunder and ones like that. So, Braden, what about you?
I mean, I've mostly been trying to catch up on my Soderbergh and stay on top of things for the podcast, so...
My bad.
Curse you. No, but I mean, it's mostly been stuff I've already mentioned before, which is, Game of Thrones, which just had a season finale. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just simply saying the finale, and it was good, and that's it. I'll drop it.
Yeah.
Something happened with my favorite character.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know what it was. I've avoided it.
I don't know what it was.
Who's your favorite character?
Well, okay.
I won't say anything.
Well,
I just want to know so I know.
Well, like, what I should say, the character I'm most interested in. Like, John's my favorite character, obviously, right? Because,
He's everybody's favorite. Well,
But-
him or Daenerys.
I
but
freaking hate Daenerys. Okay, but anyway.
like her.
Of course. Anyway, no, Littlefinger I think is the most interesting character.
Who?
And Littlefinger?
Oh, yeah.
Peter Baelish.
There's all kind of stuff about Littlefinger. I don't know what happened, but I'm curious. If he dies, I'm gonna be pissed.
Cersei's my the character I'm most interested in.
Really?
Mostly because of how great Lena Headey is.
Yeah, she's
amazing.
spectacular, and
So,
I really like Jamie
I mean, I wouldn't-
Lannister, Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
I love Jamie. He's in a new movie about. Have you seen the new movie he's in? It's coming out.
I've heard about it.
Ugh.
Yeah, I heard it's a mob film.
No,
Mob-
he's a neo-Nazi.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah.
He like goes to jail for drunk driving or something,
Huh.
and then he becomes a neo-Nazi in 2 months or something.
Sounds great.
I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't watched the last season and a half of Game of Thrones. I'm behind, but Cersei is the character I'm always interested in seeing.
I'm still a Tyrion fanboy. I like Peter Dinklage.
This makes sense too.
Yeah.
I like Peter Dinklage, and I really like the
He's
character.
in a new movie too that looks really good. Shoot, what movie is that? That movie.
From
looks-
Memory.
Huh?
From
Oh,
Memory?
it's not very good.
You saw it?
I saw it at Sundance.
Oh, dang it!
Yeah, sorry.
It looks good.
Sorry.
Oh no, is that the one with the billboards? I'm talking about the billboard movie.
Oh no, that's the
With
one
Frances
that directed by the
McDormand.
guy who you like, who did Seven Psychopaths.
Oh, I love that movie.
yeah,
yes,
he's in,
I'm in for the Billboard movie.
Or billboards, something
3
billboards outside of Ebbings, Missouri.
Yes, please.
He's in that.
We've had that poster for a while.
That'll be good.
But yeah, Rememory, if that comes around, it's not very good. I saw it at Sundance.
That's on Amazon, I think.
Oh, really? It's
Maybe.
not great, people. Don't watch it.
I
mean, it's not horrible, but
I just really like Peter Dinklage, and in the novels, and I think in the TV series as well. The character is so...
Peter Dinklage is great in the novels.
he's wonderful in the novels. But, no, the character on the TV, I mean, obviously, duh. But the character, Tyrion, in the novels, I think, he's one of the most fascinating, multifaceted, and genuine characters. Which, you know, in a bunch of books where everybody's the most two-faced, duplicitous pieces of shit.
Except for Rob. Rip.
oh,
Yeah, well, most of the Starks are not duplicitous, and they die off like gadflies.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anywho. But no, I mean, there hasn't been any. There's been stuff that I've been wanting to watch. God, I feel like there was something that I saw recently, and then now I'm completely blanking on it. I don't know why. Anyhow, no, I mean, I've just been watching most of the same stuff that I have for a while. So I haven't really caught anything, unfortunately, new or out of the ordinary.
That's all right.
Oh, dang. I have to
Chloe-
look up the name.
Chloe, how about you?
Should have done this a while ago. Well, I've read 2 good books lately. I don't know
Okay.
if those count.
Yeah, yeah.
But one of them's written by Noah Hawley. My fave.
Yeah, yeah.
Before the Fall.
Oh, I think
Why do I
maybe
know
my
that
mother
name?
read
Oh, that's
that.
super good.
Who's Noah Hawley?
The guy who created
Fargo.
Fargo and
Oh, Fargo,
and
the
Legion.
one that did Fargo and Legion, right? Which both are spectacular.
Genius.
Yeah.
Book is great. And then also
And that was Before I Fall.
Before the Fall.
Before the Fall, okay.
And then also my favorite author, Chapel Hill native or local, I don't know his name, Daniel Wallace. His new book, Extraordinary Adventures, super good. Could easily be a movie. So all of his books could easily be a movie, except for the one, which is confusing. That one could be a movie, but anyway. But then I've also been watching, Colin Morgan from my favorite childhood show, Merlin, with Bradley James.
No.
Anyway, he's in a new TV show called The Living and the Dead. It's a horror thing. It's really good.
What's it on?
I think it's on Amazon. But we have it might be BritBox on Amazon. It might be us. But it's really good. I'm sure you can find it if you look hard enough on the internet.
Cool. Those are some good picks this week. Good picks. All right, well, I guess that...
Oh, also, the movie, I finally bothered to look it up, Stardust Memories. And it's Charlotte Rampling, so a different French lady.
Ah,
And she's not my mom, but
Okay.
almost, basically. Basically, Charlotte Rampling's my mom.
right.
Yeah.
All right, well, with that mystery solved, I guess that about brings us to the end of the show. So next week, again, there's not much out, but maybe Good Time. That's the last,
Yeah.
or Ingrid Goes West, one or the other.
So if you didn't get enough Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh, true. Yeah, she's in that too. But yeah, so maybe one of those, unless something else kind of pops up. But
Good Time is going to be depressing.
Oh,
it looks very
Guaranteed.
depressing. Yeah.
That's what I saw.
You saw Good Time?
No. I was just looking at Rotten Tomatoes, trying to remember. I did watch something recently. The Tick.
Oh.
Oh,
The Tick.
I love him.
It was really good. I have to say. I mean, it was sort of a
Peter
redo of it, and it wasn't just
Fuckbalus,
what?
right? That's the main guy.
Peter Serafinowicz.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Great one, Chloe.
I love him.
Peter Serafinowicz. Yeah, he's great. Oh, he's great. I mean, I really like it. I gotta say, I was taken aback because they decided to go sort of a more serious route with it, but they're able to toe the line between way too serious and grim, and way too goofy and silly and comic booky, and I think they do a spectacular job. The stuff with the Tick, you can tell he's actually a genuine, decent guy who's an absolute blockhead. But he helps Arthur, who is struggling with sort of PTSD and mental illness and all these kinds of things. He helps Arthur sort of come out of this morass, this quagmire that he's been stuck in. And so it does a very good job of portraying Arthur as a sort of, not just like neurotic. I mean, he is neurotic, nebbish little guy, but there's a reason for it. And it tells you why, and it portrays it as actual sort of mental illness and PTSD and all these kinds of things. And then the Tick and his relationship with the Tick, and the Tick, because he's just such a genuine, sincere, kind of a moron. But, I mean, that's all the more endearing for it. Helps pull Arthur. And so anyhow, it's a really interesting portrayal. And Jackie Earle Haley's in it. And I just love him because he's a weird, creepy little dude.
Yeah, he is weird.
He's weird, creepy little character. I really like him as Rorschach and Watchmen.
Oh yeah, he's great.
But yeah, the Tick, it's actually worth a watch. I mean, the older stuff, I would say, you know, the original live action version with Patrick Warburton, it was fun, but it was goofy. It didn't try to be anything other than just goofy. And this one actually is more compelling in terms of the human aspect to it, and it really pulls you in. So I highly recommend it.
One of my favorite bands did the music.
Who's that?
Bastille.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, you are if you watch the Tick.
Perhaps I am.
Anyway.
Cool. Well, all right. Well, I guess that's about all we got. So yeah, we'll keep you updated about the Soderbergh show. And yeah, maybe look at something like Good Time or Ingrid Goes West next week.
I'm seeing that anyway, so.
Which one?
Ingrid Goes West.
Yeah, I probably will too. So.
I'm gonna watch Good Time.
I want to watch Good Time. It's for Connor's birthday.
Ah, that's cool.
It's about narcissistic, crazy people. It's up his alley.
Yeah.
Are you saying he's a narcissistic, crazy person?
Yeah.
No comment. All right.
He'd be like, "Aw."
Before we burn any more bridges, we'll
I don't have any left.
yeah, we'll call it a day, and we hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, keep updated with things on the website, and I'll post when the show's up. And we always thank you for being with us and for downloading the show. It's a fun time, and so we'll see you next week.
For a long time, sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down.